Is there a problem, people? Put another gay-diverse woman in it. Make it more fucking lame.
Or choose another path beyond what we see.
And we must look for it together.
Beavis, we gotta find something that floats and get in that river.
Yeah, really.
Something that floats.
Whoa, check it out, butthead.
Beavis, this is our lucky day.
Yes, yes. It's Hollywood, baby.
Well, hello everybody.
Hello.
We are. Oh, did we lose Hardcut?
Oh no!
What is going on?
Hello.
There we go. There we go. This isn't a Thirsty Thursdays without technical
something tech
difficulties.
related.
Yeah. So, welcome to another Thirsty Thursdays, where we're gonna dive into the dumpster fire that is modern Hollywood. And we've got Sin, we've got Hardcut, and we've got Kyle. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How you guys doing? What's going on?
Yeah. So I'm working with the remainder of my birthday gift of Basil Hayden. I got a very good friend. Shout out to Ravi. He gave me a 1.75 liter bottle of it. So it's taken a while to get through it. So cheers.
Cheers, man. When was your birthday?
Likewise.
August. So I've been working through that bottle for actually.
You have been.
He gave it to me 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we had a very nice live stream with Sin the other night. This time around, we actually saw a good movie rather than Babes. Ugh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But we saw, for you guys, we saw Ezra on the AMC Mystery Movie Night, which was actually pretty good. Pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, it was like your standard family drama about these, two divorced parents trying to deal with an autistic kid. Hilarity, it doesn't ensue, but there were some funny parts. And so, yeah, we do this mystery movie night, which I think the next one, Sin was saying, is it June 15th, 17th?
17th? Whichever one is that?
That Monday.
That Monday, yeah.
Yeah. Which they haven't posted yet.
No,
but
they haven't. But they're talking about it on the mega thread, so it must be. I mean, I trust the information. I just don't know when it's gonna pop up on the app.
Yeah. No, but it's I don't know. It was my second one, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. I was not expecting to like it because I knew how much Deleted was dreading it because of certain.
Oh yeah.
certain people that were in there, but he ended up liking it as well. So it's a testament to the writing.
Oh, I meant the live stream was actually a lot of fun.
I'm sorry. I thought I was talking about.
No. Like we were like going at it for like a good 2 hours
it's
over one movie.
So easy to just gab and gab.
Well, that's what we're here for. I guess Hollywood is giving us plenty of cannon fodder. The latest couple of stories, some journalists were going after Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic over their opinions.
Okay.
Yeah, again. And then some woman, what the hell was her name? Cecilia D'Anastasio was now going after YouTubers over video games. So she used to work for, I don't know, GameSpot or she used to work for Kotaku, and then she got herself
I've heard about this.
Yeah, so she got herself a job at Bloomberg, and now she thinks she's all important, and she's going after YouTubers over a bunch of controversies, the Stellar Blade stuff.
Contacting like the wife of someone.
Yeah.
She's going after her.
it's so dumb. Like, just make a good game, and it won't be a problem, right?
Kind of parallels the news of. Have you guys heard that IGN and a couple other video game criticism company organizations that were acquired by some other company right now? So they're expecting mass layoffs with IGN coming up.
I mean, the writing at IGN.
Trash.
I'm not saying I'm a fucking English major, but the writing is just abysmal.
I still blame IGN for the reason why there's not an Alien Isolation sequel. Because they gave it like a
Did
very
they shit on it?
Yeah, they gave it like a very mediocre review.
What?
Yeah, when it came out.
It's like one of the best Alien games
They got so
ever.
much shit for it because it's like one of the great. It's a fucking great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so after that, it's like the game kind of lost steam, and then there was just never like an appetite for a sequel.
Yeah, I mean,
Was the storyline better than Alien Covenant?
Yes, dude. Honestly, I can't even express to you how awesome the game is. Like it feels just like Alien. It's a sequel to Alien, but it doesn't feel like Aliens. It's like definitely steeped in the world of Alien.
The original.
Yeah, like all the technology, the sound effects, everything. It just fits the vibe perfectly. So yeah, I recommend playing that game if you've never played it.
Maybe Amazon needs to adapt it the way that they did for Fallout.
Well, when you watch the trailer to Romulus,
kind of feels a little.
It does.
Like
I almost was wondering if they're making like a sleeper Alien Isolation adaptation.
Yeah, here's somebody we haven't seen or I haven't talked to in a long time. Is Mike from Did You See That? Hello, Mike.
Hope you're doing good, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a while. So for anybody that doesn't know, Mike actually brought me and Sin together on the first live stream, and then kind of spun out from there.
It was it was one of his Z Talks, right?
Yeah. So like I think it was like when I had like 400 subs, or I had like 330, and then like after I appeared the first time on his, I went over 400, and then I did a bunch of different live streams with him. And then when I started my own, I just started inviting you in because we share similar views. And your recommendations I learned are very good.
And we share the same time zone.
We share the same time zone.
Mike is like 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. And so IGN going after. So IGN, their like rating system is like, okay, if they just want to like bang out a review and like without any effort, or thought into it, 7 out of 10. Yeah. And then, the one thing I found really hysterical is their review of Megalopolis, which I'm like, okay, I don't think anybody at IGN got invited to the Cannes Film Festival. So.
But I reminded you, it's possible they had access to a
screener. Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I've ever read a film review by IGN.
They do them.
Yeah, they do. They do
like
film reviews.
I used to like go to them all the time for video game stuff, like way back in the day
when they were cool.
When they were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they lost their cool. But what is here we go. Yeah, you guys caught me on a night I'm not in bed early. It's just after midnight here. IGN reviews sucks.
Yeah, they just did it was like a month or two ago. They did this dumb video where it's like, because they're talking about what Resident Evil game they're going to adapt next or redo next, which sequel, and there's speculation that they're going to remake 5 next. Because they just did 4, and 4 was extremely successful.
Right.
And they were like, this is the reason why you can't make Resident Evil 5, and it's because of racism, of course. Right. So like the whole video, like they list all these dumb reasons why you couldn't remake it. I fucking hate that game anyway, so I don't care if they don't remake it. But then they finally get to the main point as to why you can't make it, and it's racism because it takes place in Africa.
It's always got to come back around.
Oh, right.
Don't you want that? Like,
well, no. It's okay in Resident Evil 4 that you're mowing down a bunch of Spaniards.
Yeah,
that's
in Spain,
fine.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine. But you can't. Yeah, fucking stupid.
Well, Matt, they're not dark enough. They don't have enough melanin.
I guess not.
Make it racist.
Resident Evil 8, you're what, mowing down Eastern Europeans essentially.
Eastern European werewolves, yeah.
Right. Which is like, and the latest huge gaffe is what's happening with Assassin's Creed. You know,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard.
I'm not up on my Japanese history, but I'm pretty sure Yasuke was just a slave and he was never Ronin or samurai or
He was
anything.
a real person, but like there's no evidence that he was ever a samurai. So they're going in and they're like cooking the books with like Wikipedia and like
really?
yeah, they're like a race.
Are
It
they
used to say, like, if you went to
really?
the Wikipedia page, it used to say like, there's no evidence that he was like a samurai. Just he existed and there's just no evidence. Now that's gone.
Well, there was
It's like
there was some book called like Afro Samurai, and I think it's probably one of those books in that Ta-Nehisi Coates type of genre, where
Like
white
made up
people
bullshit
bad,
genre.
shit that never happened genre.
Yeah, exactly. Shit
Yeah,
that
yeah.
never happened. How to be an anti-racist. It's like, okay, that's actually how to be a racist, but whatever.
What a missed opportunity. Like, you set the game in feudal Japan, and that's what you do.
I know. I mean, essentially, we already had an Assassin's Creed in Japan. It's called Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did it way, way, way better than any of the... Because Assassin's Creed is basically like the Madden of stealth action, essentially, at this point. They keep churning out sequels that are completely meaningless. I stopped playing after 3.
Yeah.
How many are there?
Ugh, there's got to be at least 10 at this point.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah, there was like Black Flag was the pirate. The pirate one I had no interest in playing because I
kind of a cool
hated
game.
I hated the fucking ships, the mechanics and everything from the third one. And like this was like forced on you. I'm like, all right, fuck that. And then
There's the Valhalla one.
yeah, Valhalla. So that's like the newer ones. The hell was it? It was Rogue, which I think is like France. Syndicate, which I guess is also France, or maybe
There's the one
London.
in Egypt.
Yeah,
So
and then
each
there's like
time they release a game, is it like a mainline game, or are there any spin-offs?
yeah.
Okay. I can't keep up with it because
There was like
just
a
seems like
Rome
there's too
one,
many.
an Egypt one, Valhalla, and I guess now this one, which I mean, look, the games take a long time to make, and let's call it like a 5 to 10 year development cycle. So the idea for this Yasuke game came around the time of basically peak woke in like 2018 or 2019, and now we're finally seeing it.
I mean, they could have just gone back in and
Yeah,
changed the character to a Japanese person.
right,
Rework that.
Change the skin.
Change the skin.
Change the skin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, at least I'm seeing a little bit of like light at the end of the tunnel with movies. But now we're getting the peak woke games.
Yeah, because they've been in development for so long.
Yeah. Some good movies are coming out, but I wanted to bring this up. Is Dune basically it as far as blockbusters go for this year?
Well, we got Deadpool and Wolverine, which maybe.
Yeah, we haven't hit the summer yet, so we'll see what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I'm kind of optimistic about Alien Romulus. Even though,
And I'm actually looking
Wow.
forward to Twisters.
Twisters, yeah,
Twisters is going to be a
Are you
fun time.
serious?
Yeah. Wait, are we talking
I
about?
roll my eyes every time that
Are you
trailer
saying
comes
wow?
on.
Are you serious about Twisters or Alien?
I thought it was Alien. I don't know. What was that wow about?
Alien Romulus.
No, look. There's just some cool imagery in the trailer.
looks-
it's
I'm
probably gonna
excited.
suck.
Yeah,
but-
I'm definitely going to
Dude.
go see it.
It looks like
it's a show, right? It's a show or
fucking
movie?
facsimile
Oh, it's a movie.
of
Yeah.
Alien
I thought
Covenant.
Romulus was a show. Okay, no, that's even better.
What were you
Alien
saying,
Covenant-
Kyle?
It looks like a facsimile of Alien Covenant.
I don't know.
Like the trailer, you could play them back to back or throw them together into a blender, an editing blender, and they would just.
No,
Oh,
like-
it's the same thing.
No, because Covenant has that technology that Prometheus has, where it's like all the technology is like super advanced, even though it takes place like 57 years before Alien does, or however long, 80 years before Alien. This one, though, if you watch the trailer, like all the technology is very much Alien. You know, it went back to like tactile buttons on things, like
Very
shitty
CRT.
CRT monitors, things like
So
that.
I don't have to have watched the last Alien movie in order
No,
to.
I think this is separate.
Because I didn't
Yeah.
go.
This
I didn't
movie
see
takes place in between
Hey, Corey.
Alien and Aliens. So
between. Oh,
So it
okay.
should feel like that.
yeah,
Okay.
even though I don't think that you even need to see the first Alien, even though they're saying that part of this, like some of the rumors are part of the story of this movie is Weyland Yutani actually finds the alien from the first one out in space.
Out in space. Okay.
And they take it
I
and they
was
start doing
wondering.
experiments
Oh,
on
interesting.
it. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Alien, my
Kyle's
son
not
and I
sold.
recently saw the original on the big screen, 45th anniversary, and boy, that
Oh,
movie
nice.
holds up so well. It's
It's a
ridiculous.
gorgeous movie.
It
Wait, which
is.
movie?
The original.
The first
Oh
one.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, on the big
And
screen.
what was
it's
that?
beautiful.
1979.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
back
best
when
movies
like
ever made.
practical effects were a thing.
So good. I mean, they
Yeah.
really hold up very
Yeah.
well.
Well, I mean, this is also another topic we can discuss. I don't know if you guys have like any 4K Blu-rays, or if you guys collect at all. But do you know the controversy with the Aliens 4K Blu-ray?
No.
Oh, what? Tell us about it.
So James Cameron is like basically he's got his own brand of George Lucasing, where he'll go in. So they just released The Abyss, Aliens, and True Lies
yeah.
on 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Right.
Got the True Lies.
And he ran all the movies through some like really shitty AI algorithm thing that basically cleans up all the grain in the
Sharpens
movie,
it.
and then also sharpens the image. So True Lies is the worst offender.
Oh
It
no!
looks,
don't
it looks
say
like
that.
yeah. Is that,
Haven't
and that
seen it
movie's
yet.
It looks so
True
bad.
Lies has
It
never
looks
even
like they have
been
IG filters
Blu-ray
on Arnold
before.
Schwarzenegger's face.
Oh, he looks like shit. He looks like a wax
Oh.
figure.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it that's most detectable is when you look at people's texture in their hair, you can see that it looks like a fucking painting.
It does.
The way that
You're right.
it's like a brush stroke.
Yeah, there's like swirls and shit between grains. Yeah, it looks fucking terrible.
They didn't tell the fucking AI to get that right. Hey, can you not make that look like we're watching this?
Yeah.
In the fucking
I mean, AI. I started using it a little bit in my thumbnails and just general fucking about. Trying to make myself look skinnier, but it's not perfect. Like you could just say, like I was doing the thumbnail for my latest video on Demolition Man, and I'm just like, complete the beret, and it pops up a teddy bear. I'm like, no, not what I was going for. I guess I'll just do this myself. But yeah, it's not perfect, and it's looking like they're gonna start adding it more and more. If not, like the writers are probably already using ChatGPT for some of this shit.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Well, where I was going with that though was if you compare Aliens, which it's not as bad as True Lies,
Right.
but it still suffers from that AI bullshit. It looks terrible. But if you compare that with the 4K transfer that they did for Alien, that Alien looks phenomenal. Like they just basically scanned the film, did a little cleanup job, added some HDR color grading to it, and it looks fucking pristine. Like the movie looks like it was shot yesterday. Unfortunately, we can't say the same thing about Aliens.
Wow.
but especially True Lies. That means
Yeah, especially.
that
Yeah.
pisses me off is
Yeah.
that James Cameron and other filmmakers who, granted, I don't know. Well, in this case with James Cameron, he's more on the modern front of technology and doesn't give a shit about film in the same way that Nolan and Tarantino do. So it makes sense that he would be okay with making it look like it was. First of all, it doesn't look like it was shot on digital, but he's trying to make it
Yes,
look like
exactly.
I don't get it.
so it doesn't accomplish what he's trying to do, and it might be a weakness in his perception as an older filmmaker that he can't tell the difference, or maybe but he took
can't
so
be that
fucking long to
far
do
gone.
it that you'd think that he would have an inspection process of looking. Is this good enough? Is it right?
Yeah, there's no way you can watch True Lies and go, yeah, this is good.
Yeah,
There's
right,
no
right.
Oh my
way.
gosh.
Yeah.
I was gonna, I
pass.
had to, when I bought my first True Lies Blu-ray, there was no Blu-ray available here, so I had to buy a Spanish import. I was gonna sell it, but now I feel like I shouldn't.
Keep it.
I have that as well. Keep it.
Yeah.
It looks much better.
Jeez.
And the Spanish import, that's actually so before Blu-rays came out, there was a format. It was almost like a VHS tape, but with high definition on it, a high definition video. I can't remember the name of what the format was called, but that was actually from the True Lies is actually from that source.
Oh, okay.
HD DVD.
No, it wasn't HD DVD. It was
It's
right
an actual
before
tape.
both. Yeah,
Electro
it was
tape
on a
format.
tape, but it was an HD
Okay.
tape.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
yeah, the Spanish bootleg is from that source, which it actually doesn't look that bad.
It's actually not like it's technically, I heard it's not really a bootleg. It's a legit one. It just.
It is
was
legit
only
in
over
Spain,
there.
but
Yeah.
that's still where they got the source from,
Oh,
though.
okay.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame, just because it's got to be probably my top favorite action movie of the 90s.
Love that movie.
Oh, yeah, it's
so
great.
So good. I watched the shit out of it. Like, I mean,
Bill Paxton.
Bill
my
Paxton.
gosh.
It's like,
The vet
don't
gets wet.
kill me, sir. Don't kill me, sir.
I got a little dick.
I have to lie to women to get laid.
Bill Paxton managed to go fucking over the top with his performances, yet still be acceptable, believable, lovable, likable.
Yeah.
Just like that guy, I love he was a star at some point, right? When he
Yeah.
did Twister,
Yeah.
this guy managed to be an everyday looking man, and then was put in a leading man role. That's what one of the things I love about Twister and a few other films that he did as a lead, but Twister was really his peak, his his rise right there. And he manages to bring that gravitas and leading man quality, yet relatability that not a lot of actors do today. I mean, I love Chris Hemsworth, and what he can bring to roles.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have he looks like a fucking,
He looks like Thor.
Looks like
He
Thor.
Looks like Thor.
he looks
Yeah.
like
Like an
a
Adonis,
demigod.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Simple Plan. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's probably
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies.
My
Just-
favorite of his is something he also directed, Frailty.
Frailty's fantastic.
I was
Yeah, and
that
that
too.
movie is phenomenally directed. Like, it's so good. So
Yeah, he had a good run in the 90s.
yeah, he's one of those guys where you don't know a celebrity, so when they die, it's whatever. But when he died, that actually kind of
yeah.
that sucked.
Yeah.
I still think about that occasionally when if a
Same.
movie comes up that he was in, whether it be Frailty, Twister, or I'll watch a movie with my wife and he'll pop up in a supporting player role, and it's just instantly
I know.
Yeah.
I miss that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just talking to one of my buddies, and we were just, praising Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger is like 76, 77. So it's just like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go host my own funeral at the bar when that happens. Yeah. I mean, Bill Paxton, he was always, I guess, what was his main leading role? Was it Twister, or was it?
I mean, as a leading man, biggest
Yeah.
film was probably Twister.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. In terms of commercial success.
Yeah.
It's so weird to see him in the Terminator too.
Terminator,
Little
Predator,
teeny tiny party he has at the beginning.
and Alien. He got killed by all three.
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six pack.
So good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
He was in Weird Science.
Yeah.
That's right. I
yeah.
forgot. That's right. I recently watched that.
He had the string of roles where he was either the offbeat character or he was a bad guy,
Yeah.
and he solidified that as a niche for himself, and that's part of why I love what he did. Was in the 90s, all of a sudden he just rose to be a leading man. I fucking love that journey. It's inspiring that happened to him,
Yeah.
The character actor then becomes, it'd be nearly equivalent to it's not the same, but like thinking if Steve Buscemi became.
I knew you were going to say. I knew you were going to say his
Steve
name.
Buscemi became the lead in
it's
Twisters or some other big
Right.
Steven Spielberg produced Universal picture.
Well, speaking of which, Buscemi just got his ass kicked on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
like, why would you? It's Steve Buscemi. Like, he's so lovable. Why the hell would
Someone
you
did
punch
that
him?
to Rick Moranis as well.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Both in New York, right? Both.
Of course.
Of course, it's New York.
Maybe some woke jackass was pissed that he went back to his old firehouse and helped the firefighters during 9/11.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
It
New
was
York-
just, I bet the guy didn't even know who he was. I think he was probably doing that stupid, that dumb thing,
Knockout game.
knockout
Yeah.
game, where they just walk up to a random
I can
white
see that with-
person usually and punch them.
I can see that with Moranis, but like Buscemi is like he's very distinct. Like Moranis
Yeah,
has been
but
out of
not
the public
everybody's in
spotlight
the
for a long
movies,
time, so he's probably like unrecognizable to a lot of people.
Yeah. Megan the Texan says, "Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. He was the best." Yeah, indeed he was. Yeah, but speaking of New York, like this town has become a complete shithole. Like,
that's why we left.
Yeah, that's why you guys left. Yeah.
You should escape while you have the chance, Paul.
Unfortunately, I own this place, so kind of hard.
Get out.
Oh, no. So since I'm a millennial and I won't have access to Social Security, this is my Social Security. I'll rent it out from the old folks' home. But yeah,
all those hammer and axe attacks going on in the subway.
I know, yeah. And
holy shit. You're a fucking slasher movie over there, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like fucking old boy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just started, like I'm sticking to taking the bus because there's like a couple points of egress, and I could just like whatever. I'm above ground, but yeah, the subway, it's yeah. I only take it in the middle of the day. I can't remember the last time I took the subway at night, but I also haven't been going out that much because I don't know. My drinking's gone down like 98%. Not on these live streams, as it would seem, but
the going out kind, yeah.
No. It's just like my building. New York City is run by morons, and so we get what we vote for.
Yep.
Basically,
Similar journey of experience when I left Chicago. So, remember Beetlejuice ran that city?
Oh, yeah. She literally did look like Beetlejuice.
What is that, Lori Lightfoot?
Yeah.
I mean, she was. I actually mentioned in my latest video of Demolition Man how in the very beginning Wesley Snipes takes over. Whatever, has his own gang empire. And I'm like, gee, this looks like the autonomous zone in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
a very beta version of that.
Yeah.
right, exactly. But actually, we could talk about it. Everybody's seen Demolition Man?
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
it's scary accurate.
Such a good movie. Oh, I know, it's so
Scary
relevant,
accurate.
right? I had forgotten how relevant it was.
And the one thing I missed in my video was I forgot to mention Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, the Schwarzenegger Presidential Library.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we got pretty damn close with Trump. So
yeah. What's the line in the movie where Wesley Snipes, where he says you can't, something along the lines of you can't prevent people from being assholes?
Oh, you can't take away people's rights to be assholes.
Yes, and it's like leave it to the fucking lunatic in the movie to like come up with those words of wisdom.
That's what people can't seem to get is they want to abolish assholery.
Yes,
and think that racism or whatever injustice and using that word since that's SJW terminology, but yeah, there are injustices in the world and there are assholes in the world. You're not going to be able to get rid of them because that's the price for freedom. You don't give them a platform and you don't give them attention.
You need guardrails.
In Ghostbusters 2, when he tells the mayor, he's like, "You want me to tell everyone to be nice?"
Yeah, New Yorkers.
It's every New Yorker's God-given right
to treat people like dirt.
Yes, and he's right.
Treating people like dirt. Yeah,
it's
that's
every
right.
New Yorker's God-given right.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's part of like if you want to go get into like political science, it's Jean-Jacques Rousseau's social contract. In order to be part of society, you can't be too much of an asshole. So there's got to be like some guardrails.
Well, I don't know. I just think, not to get too political with this, but like I just think that there's a lot of people that, especially like Gen Zers, they're kind of losing what it means to be free, and like they're valuing safety over freedom. Because when you have freedom, obviously there's less quote unquote safety. Which I will take fucking any day of the week, just to be able to say whatever the hell I want to say.
Yeah.
But people they don't value that anymore. It's sad.
Yeah, and kids these days don't take as many risks as we used to. I mean, I used to do a lot of stupid shit when I was a kid. And
you know what movies become a lot more relevant today is Bubble Boy.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen the Gyllenhaal version or the Travolta version.
That's the boy in the plastic bubble.
Oh, there you go.
I'm talking about Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. I mean, basically, that's every kid today. Which, we're all of the similar age where it's like we're turning into the grumpy old man. Get off my lawn.
The story of Bubble Boy is his parents are the wokies that put their kid in a bubble. Essentially, that's the consequence. That's a prediction.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
So many movies predicted a lot. In Demolition Man, they had like the virtual sex. It's scary because we actually do have VR porn now. And
how do you know about this, Paul?
I read articles. I'm not
research.
My research consists of playing Grand Theft. No, not Grand Theft Auto. Gran Turismo 7 in VR, which driving a convertible in VR at like 150 miles an hour, pretty fucking fun.
Which VR headset do you have?
I have the PSVR for the PS4 and the one for the PS5. Like I went apeshit with that. Cool. I love playing in VR.
Yeah, I want to get one eventually. I just don't know which one to get yet.
Yeah, I mean, so they're not. So the VR2 is not backwards compatible, which kind of sucks. So I only have like the second one hooked up, and every once in a while I'm like, fuck, I really want to play Everybody's Golf. Because I suck at golf in real life, but in video games, like, whatever.
Crushing it in Wii Golf.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I remember, like, I guess it was like going back all the way to the PS1. It was Hot Shots Golf, which was actually pretty awesome.
PS1, damn.
Yeah, so I don't collect much physical media, but I love collecting for the PS1. Like that's
cool.
That's when I was in middle school, high school. A lot of good memories on that console. And like PS2, that PS2 era, like PS2, the original Xbox, GameCube. I was in college chasing Skirt, so I completely missed that.
Yeah. Missed all the good titles.
yeah, I missed a lot. But and then I picked up the Xbox 360 after I graduated college, which was pretty awesome. It was a pretty good console. But getting back to Demolition Man, the chip and the surveillance, it's basically modern day China, and a little bit here too.
And finding him for every curse word he said, and spitting out a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I talked about that.
And the cops not prepared at all, like they had no weapons to defend. Like, we're cops, we've never seen stuff like this before. Like,
right. Yeah,
they were defunded.
It's just the one old black guy who like remembered the before times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the compelled speech. They basically did away with the Second Amendment because like the only place you could see guns was at a museum.
Yeah,
but I don't know how the hell they repealed the Second Amendment.
Really like that to happen.
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while, but like that type of society just exists in LA in the movie, right? Or is it like it's not countrywide?
It's LA and San Diego merged together.
I guess.
Right,
Okay.
yeah,
So like we don't know what's going on in like New York in terms of like.
I mean, I assume
you assume that it's similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's
because like
Cocteau, the leader, is not the leader of all of that. He's just the leader of
LA.
Yes.
So and like they cite him as like the savior of the city because the city got so bad, but like they don't really say like or talk about the rest of the country if they went similar direction.
Right.
I imagine they would.
Yeah, I imagine the same. Right. But it could have been like wishful thinking on behalf of the Californians that made the movie.
Yeah.
But it is social commentary about like if you go too woke, it becomes authoritarian.
Yeah. That's why Dennis Leary's so great in that movie.
Oh, he's so good. Like basically all of us are Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Every restaurant is Taco Bell.
Yes.
So it's
Taco
funny.
Bell.
I had no idea until I was making this video that there's two different versions of this movie.
Pizza
one
Hut
where
version.
all the
Pizza Hut.
restaurants are Taco Bell, and one where they're all
it's Pizza Hut.
And I was just
didn't
like,
know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
And the version that I sourced it from was the Pizza Hut version. I'm like, holy shit! Wait a minute, shit. And whatever. After the fact, I already edited. I'm like, I'm not taking it out. Whatever. But
Wait, so how did they release them? Did they just throw one on VHS?
This is the first I ever
Here's
heard of it.
one on DVD. Like, what did?
It was for. I think it was for different countries. Like different other countries don't have Taco Bell, so they made it Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut's global though.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a time and a place for Taco Bell. It's when you're hating yourself.
Or loving yourself.
or loving yourself too much. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the nacho fries, which they're not always available.
Those are good.
It's really annoying. They're really
I want
tasty
Taco
fries.
Bell.
Get some afterwards.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah. I actually stuffed myself with 3 slices of New York pizza. Should have just stopped at 2. And I'm like, shit.
Paul, I haven't had a good slice of pizza in. Oh my god! When was the last time I was in New York?
I don't know. I think New York pizza's bullshit.
No. Long Island pizza's better. Jersey pizza's better. New York City pizza.
Them's just fighting words.
Them's fighting words.
That's what everyone from New York says.
No, I mean, Jersey pizza. I mean, there's a couple pizzerias in my own college town. I went to school in Jersey, and they're pretty fucking good. I would say better than New York. Yeah, so I'll agree with that.
Dude, all my favorite spots are all Long Island. None of them are in the city.
Yeah. I mean, I had a really good pizzeria near me called Little Vincent's, but the landlord was being an asshole, and so they basically forced them out. And now I have like a bullshit convenience store, not even a bodega, but just like a cleaned up corner store. I'm like, I like my Little Vincent's, man. Great pizza, great wings.
You ever hit up Two Brothers at 2 a.m. for $1 slice?
I am a big proponent of dollar slices. 10 thumbs up. Fuck yeah. 2 slices and a Coke for $2.75. Hell yeah. Oh, I'm big fan of dollar slices. Because at the end of the day, it's just it's bread and cheese and some sauce, So
Yep.
I gotta say, thoughts after my own. Ajax 16 in the chat. Chicago deep dish. Chicago.
I was wondering if someone was going to mention that.
What was that?
No, so my thoughts on Chicago deep dish, it's not actually pizza, it's casserole, essentially. Or am I like...
Okay, well, I could give you a few places in Chicago that I could recommend that isn't deep dish, that's more traditional. Barnaby's.
Oh, okay.
If anyone's in the area or going to visit,
hey, listen,
try
deep dish
Barnaby's.
is good when you're in. There was a place in Brooklyn I used to go to that did a buffalo chicken deep dish, and it was like chef's kiss.
Well, I wonder how the pizza is in Kentucky, Ajax. But tavern-style pizza is also Chicago-style. Interesting. Had no idea. We're learning a lot of things from Megan the Tech.
Quite the tangent.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Hasty tangent.
getting back to movies.
Kyle, you saw Furiosa?
Oh yeah.
How was it?
Come on, it's just.
Are you in some like embargo right now or something?
There can't be. It can't be an embargo.
Yeah, coming out.
No, it came out today.
Some people have.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot cooler if there was, right? I did. Yeah, I saw it. It was a promo screening, and press was there. They had reserved seating, and it was the IMAX theater in Austin, Bullock Theater. I'll save my thoughts from my video, which I recorded part of it before I jumped on here, which is why I was a little late to the testing the microphone.
You're such a tease, Kyle.
I know, right? But I will say, on a technical side, that can lead us into a broader discussion about why they do this. Don't go see it in IMAX. It's not fucking filmed in IMAX.
Yeah.
Okay.
No movie. If you got to check out movies, and I'm talking to the broader audience here, because you guys already know this, I think. If a movie is not shot on IMAX, there's no fucking reason to see it on IMAX.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think if they shoot it in the digital IMAX format? Do you still feel the same way about that? Because there's like the Alexa 65 that shoots.
Yeah.
Which film did that? Can you give me a reference?
Oh. I think most movies that say shot in IMAX are actually that.
The Alexa.
Okay.
Yeah, but
look,
obviously not Nolan movies or anything.
As long as here's the thing. I know there's an aspect of resolution that is a huge part of why we go to IMAX. However, the main part is the aspect ratio is you're never filling up the entire screen in IMAX when you're just projecting a film that was shot in the traditional widescreen, right?
What was it? What was the aspect?
Well, I don't know the exact. What are the ratio numbers? I don't know the exact kind.
Well, it's like 185, 69.
Or,
yeah.
It's whatever it was shot. What Fury Road was shot. That's the same aspect ratio.
Okay, so
that's 235, isn't it? 235.
I don't think it was 235.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. I think they shot it Super 35, but it still is 235 aspect ratio. It's wide.
I thought it was Academy.
I don't think so. You just watched it.
I just watched it, but
I've seen it many times. I'm pretty sure it's.
I don't remember being that wide though.
We could ask someone in the chat.
I think it's 235.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. So if it's 235, that's like widescreen.
It should be. It lends to that.
So Google is saying 239.
239. Oh my God, that's even.
Yeah.
For Fury Road.
Okay.
So let's see.
The difference with Furiosa.
Furiosa. Let's see.
If Furiosa
239, yeah, same. Yeah.
239.
Yeah.
Then I'm with Kyle on that. Then that's stupid.
That's not for IMAX.
Yeah.
That's way too wide.
IMAX format is like a square.
Yeah, it's like a box.
Yeah, it's like a box. Yeah.
It's like a 4:3.
The thing about it is, if you're shooting like how Nolan did with Oppenheimer, okay, so
yeah, but that's all dialogue.
Right, but my opinion can't be fully rounded because I technically didn't see it in IMAX. However, the scenes that I did see, that is a narrative that is not a narrative that is not for IMAX, because you're doing these fucking close-ups that is not how IMAX works best. It is best with sequences for action. Why did we, prior to Nolan revolutionizing it and doing great things with it?
Yeah, I love Dunkirk in IMAX.
Right. So, but prior to it being a cinematic format, it was a documentary format.
Yeah, in museums and stuff.
Exactly. We were seeing glorious landscapes and space footage, etc. These large canvases. you shoot a fucking face on IMAX, it's just going to be overwhelming. It's antithetical to the format, in my opinion.
Or out of focus.
Recently I just watched like the behind the scenes stuff for Oppenheimer, and the DP Hoyt van Hoytema, whatever his name is, he was talking about how like they exactly what you're saying, Kyle. He was like, usually use IMAX to like capture these like vast vistas, but
like
this
deep
we
focus stuff.
This we wanted to like, why can't you use an IMAX camera to capture a face in a close up? So they were consciously trying to do that for Oppenheimer. And like I remember, I saw Oppenheimer a second time in the theater with a buddy, and he turned to me and he was like, "Yeah, this movie looks good, but there's really no reason for it to be in IMAX."
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Except for that center sequence with the bomb.
Oh, the Trinity sequence.
That Trinity sequence is incredible in IMAX. The rest of it's just like slightly out of focus close-ups of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, no, this is unnecessary.
That, and then like just when they're in that fucking boardroom when he's on trial, or not even trial, when he's trying to get his security clearance, and they're like in this little room when they're
Kyle's
filming with IMAX
scene.
cameras.
Yeah,
It's not just one scene.
Remove the walls to get the camera in there.
Yeah, it's well, no, they didn't even do that. They actually shot in a real room, and there was no wall removal. So that's why it's as close as it is. Yeah,
that's why the actors wanted to shoot themselves.
They said that. They actually were like, "This sucks." It was hot in there.
Yeah. So HX16 had a question: is stuff filmed on IMAX compressed on regular screens? It is, right?
Well, it depends on
compressed.
If you see it, if it was shot on IMAX film and you're watching a legitimate IMAX projection, which there's only a handful of theaters in the country that actually have that, then it's not compressed whatsoever.
Right.
Like you're seeing the raw.
If you're
format.
watching like a digital copy of it, like sometimes you'll see aspect ratios change throughout the film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not a compression thing; it's an aspect thing.
Right.
Yeah. So if the aspect ratio changes during the film, that means that some scenes were shot in IMAX and other scenes were shot anamorphic or just standard 35 millimeter spherical, whatever.
Yeah.
Is the aspect ratio governed by the camera or the lens?
The lens.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Well, if it's digital, it's also the sensor size.
Yeah, it depends on the, because sometimes you'll have a sensor that's like set up like this sensor does Super 35, or you'll have a sensor that is actually like maybe a square, but
which is what you want for anamorphic.
Right. Like if you're shooting like on a like the Gemini, that's like a open full sensor is like a 5.1K. Like it's not a normal aspect ratio. You crop in on that. So it's like it depends on the camera and the lens, and
But the benefit of that is if the sensor is a square and you shoot anamorphic, then it squeezes the images in. This is like all like nerd technical shit. I understand.
There's so many combinations of things you can do with this stuff.
Yeah.
Especially anamorphic.
Yeah.
Anamorphic is like it's very unique in that you can shoot with a wide lens and still get like a shallow focus. Mm-hmm. It's very unique.
What's anamorphic used for usually?
Well, anamorphic. So if when J.J. Abrams has the stereotype of the lens flares, that's from an anamorphic.
That's like one it's technically a flaw of the lens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having lens flares is not like a normal thing. It's something unique to anamorphics.
Well,
especially if it's
they have the streak,
the bar, the anamorphic bar across. But
that's how you know a movie's shot in anamorphic. Yeah,
but like you got to go back to like. You go back to like old westerns and stuff like that when you get like CinemaScope, and they really lend to like more majestic, like the wide, like the 239 shots. Like you see stuff like that. Like even movies like Ghostbusters was shot like anamorphic, and
but like original.
The original, yeah. And there's like unique characteristics to those lenses where if you look at like scenes where there's like maybe walls or like pillars in a wide shot, you'll actually see them like bent or bowing on the sides, just because of the way like.
Well, that's if the wider the lens is. So
the wider the lens is, but they're unique in a way that you can use like a longer millimeter lens and still get like a wider feel.
Yeah.
Like you could use a 50 and like on anamorphic it'll kind of feel like a 35 if it was like.
This is definitely an overgeneralization, but if a movie feels epic, part of the reason why is most likely it's shot anamorphic. One one of my little criticisms to the Lord of the Rings trilogy is that they're not shot anamorphic, and that bothers me because they would have looked so much better if they were. Yeah.
And they already look good, but if they had been anamorphic,
yes.
Yeah.
So Megan the Texan brought up thoughts on the movie. It Comes at Night. I haven't seen it, but it changes the aspect ratio throughout the movie. Has anybody seen that?
I have not seen
I
that.
have seen that
It
a
Comes
long
at Night
time
now.
ago.
Yeah,
That's
I
Joel
saw it,
Edgerton,
yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think about the aspect ratio, Sin?
Don't remember that part of it at all.
Sometimes
so I
it's
can't comment on that.
sometimes it can just be an artistic choice. It doesn't always have to be like because you're changing up formats. Like I think they did that in Barbarian.
I was literally just gonna say that.
Yeah, when they go back into the past, they switched into a more like square aspect ratio.
Yeah, these super wide angle lenses, and it was in a square.
Yeah, but that's probably not because they changed like shooting format. They did that so it felt like more like of the era.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes it's artistic.
The thing with It Comes at Night is, if my recollection is correct, the letterbox essentially gets more narrow as the movie goes on. So that's the only thing that they implemented.
That sounds very pretentious.
It gets more claustrophobic as it goes on.
I believe so. Yeah.
I heard that movie's really annoying.
In what way?
It Comes at Night?
Yeah.
It's like the art house version of A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
Just
feel
Be Quiet
like
Place.
I thought it was decent, but I feel like there was a misperception as to what it was supposed to be about or what it was supposed to be like based on the marketing, and that's why some people probably had an issue with it.
Well, just tell me this. I don't care. You can spoil it for me.
I don't remember much about it.
Are there actual like monsters, creatures in it, or is it like it's really the people that are the monsters? Is that bullshit?
I honestly don't remember that it was anything about monsters.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah.
But it's been years, so I don't
When did
remember
it come out?
what the premise or the setup. Oh gosh, I couldn't tell you. It's been since before the world ended. Like, so, you know.
Pre-2020.
Oh yeah, I think it was like 2014 or something.
Okay.
Around that area.
Literally, and you mean actually? Yeah.
I mean, well, you know how you break up your life in phases?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
my
the
life is-
unspecified virus of unknown origin.
My life is broken up in phases, you know, like before marriage, before kids, after kids, before 9/11, after 9/11, before 2020, after, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, Megan the Texan just said 2017.
2017.
Okay.
So just before the world went woke.
Yeah. Well, no.
Right around the time.
Yes.
It was
So
kind of
the
already
event horizon.
heading
Yeah,
in
the
that
event
territory.
horizon.
I want to say, like, again, I bring back the comedy argument. What's the last good comedy you've seen? And it was, you know, Tropic Thunder, maybe Hangover. But after that,
I mean, those are old at this point.
those are old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2009. So I think like it started happening just after that.
I do want to shout out Game Night though.
Game Night
Game
is
Night's
good.
not bad.
It was
fun.
fun, yeah.
Such an
Bateman
underrated
always-
comedy.
That's a fun
and
movie.
Tag. Tag was
Oh,
not
Tag
bad.
was
Seen
good.
Tag
Yeah, yeah.
yet.
Didn't see that.
Tag's okay. I think Game Night
It's
is
better.
the last
Game Night's
great-
solid.
Like
Billy
that
Magnuson.
that is a damn good fun comedy. It's an not a hard R comedy, but a
Right.
proper R-rated adult fun. Not for family, but it's adult fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Bill Burr movie on Netflix?
Yes, Old Dads.
Old
No,
Dads,
I
yeah,
haven't seen
yeah.
that yet.
That was like they like tried to be like that, but it still kind of still walked the line in a certain
little bit,
regard.
yeah.
Like you could tell it's like okay, yeah, they still made it today, but like you could tell Bill Burr was like trying to push that line a little bit.
Yeah, he was trying to push the line, but also make a commentary on it.
Yeah,
Which that's the
yeah,
part
because
that I like.
he kind of like compromises in the end.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
The
I
Nice
had
Guys
with
was
it.
good, yeah.
Yeah, the Nice Guys.
The problem I had with Old Dads was he he's placating to like the wokies, but then he's also putting down the traditional way of what it is to like just people pretending to be a woman or pretending to be a man, and it's just his character goes along with it in a scene like at a parents meeting.
Yeah.
And they're tempering his some of the words that he says that might be offensive, and he just goes along with it. And in real life, like if you really want to take this to where it needs to go, I think you would be fucking yelling obscenities at the ridiculousness of what they're telling you right now of how to be sensitive to other people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole, re-education, you basically get it in every job at this point, like the DEI training or whatever. It had a spot. What the hell do they call it? Something bias.
Confirmation bias?
No, not confirmation bias, but it was inherent bias or something like that, or unspoken bias or something. Whatever the hell they're trying to say. It's like, you say some sort of comment, and it's like, I didn't know black people did XYZ. So that's like the hidden inherent bias or whatever. And there's training about that, but research has found that DEI training actually makes people more racist.
Shocker.
Right.
Gee.
Well, I know why? Because
I wonder why.
they're talking about it. It's what.
Yeah, it's so hyper. It's so much.
You go back 20 years, like nobody gave a shit. Nobody was talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Things were so much better in that regard, and now it's like in your face every 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's like in Inception. Don't think about elephants.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Speaking of which, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get that Nolan back?
I want the Batman Nolan back. That's the Nolan I want back.
Well, don't be afraid to dream a little bigger.
Same time period as when he made
Inception
those.
was okay. I wasn't crazy about it.
Inception's solid.
And Tenet, I couldn't make it.
Oh,
Tenet
sucks.
That's
Tenet.
objectively bad.
I fucking hated Tenet.
Whoa.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yes, that's right, we did. That's right.
I want to hear Hardcut's thoughts on Tenet.
That's right.
Tenet is honestly the most annoying movie I've ever watched.
Okay.
Because you're watching it, and it's not that the movie's complicated, but it overtly complicates everything. Where it's like, okay, what's going on is actually not that hard to digest. But the way you guys are doing the fucking walk and talks and like the exposition dumps, you're making this so fucking annoying to keep up with. You can't like understand people because of their accents and Nolan's shitty sound mixes. Like all these things, people are wearing masks. So everything combined, it just makes it a frustrating experience.
Should we review Tenet?
I fucking hated it. I've seen it twice because I watched it another time and I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. And this time I actually watched it with subtitles. Didn't fucking help. The movie sucks.
I tried, gave up.
Yeah, it is not.
I haven't had desire to return.
It's my least favorite Nolan movie, I think, and like that's a hard. It's like you've got Dark Knight Rises, which sucks, and then that.
I'd rather watch Dark Knight Rises than Tenet.
I would rather watch
that
Dark Knight
one. Is
Rises.
at least enjoyable. I enjoyed that
Batman's in that
despite
one.
some of its
For
flaws.
20 minutes.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah, you guys should review that. And if you want, I can hop on for the other side of the coin.
So you like Tenet?
I love Tenet. Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
I thought it was a fucking masterpiece.
Oh, we should get your input then on this.
Yeah, I mean, so I will admit that it's Christopher Nolan too far up his own ass. That's for sure. You get some of the best and some of the worst of Nolan in it. I still don't understand the goddamn sound mixing in any of his movies. Like, you can't hear shit. You have to watch the movie with subtitles, which basically you have to watch everything with subtitles now because people can't enunciate.
A lot of people mumble, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, what it is he gets married to the production audio. Most movies, like 80% of it's ADR'd afterwards, but he hates that. So he'll just, like, whatever is shot and, like, recorded, he's just going to stick with that. Yeah. And so it's like, well, actually, this line is not that...
Yeah, I mean, you could say, like, oh, yeah, he's being pure, he's, like, sticking to the source, but, like, people need to hear it.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah,
especially,
it's a audio-visual medium.
Right, when you're delivering...
information.
Right, and not everybody's watching the movie on, like a proper sound system. Like sometimes people
even if
are
you
watching,
are, though.
Even if you are, right? But like people consume things in different ways now, especially with like modern movies and shows. And it's like it's just taken a nosedive. But you go back watch movies like 20, 30 years ago, and they're like everybody is like crisp and clean. You can hear every line.
Yeah.
Right.
it's just the way things are now, and it sucks.
Well, it's a combination of that and just the way Nolan's movies are so tightly compacted.
There's a lot of information. The way it's edited, everything is so tightly compacted that on a first viewing, it really is hard to absorb all of that information, and so you're just getting annoyed when you watch it. But sorry, Paul. Explain why you like that fucking movie.
I mean, I'm a big physics nerd, so like the going backwards and forwards, essentially the end of the movie is really like the halfway point. It can't really classify it as a time travel movie, but it's a non-time travel movie, which I don't know. I'm always a big fan of. I mean, if you watch Primer, okay. Actually, let's compare the two. Have you guys sseen Primer?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that compare to Tenet? Because that movie was a complete mindfuck in terms of the physics and the time.
They're very different films, but...
Sure. But in terms of like the storytelling narrative of the going backwards and forwards...
I think that like they're kind of similar in the way that you're supposed to digest the information that you're given. Primer is probably hard to kind of grasp the first time you watch it.
Yeah.
That being said, though, like when Primer ends, like you kind of get what you just watched. You're like, oh, okay. Whereas Tenet,
you have to watch it multiple times. You do have to watch Tenet multiple times to understand what the hell just happened. Like red team, blue team, all the little like Easter eggs throughout the movie. Like it's just a very well crafted movie. It obviously has its faults. To this day, I actually still don't get the time travel bullshit in Avengers Endgame, and how that didn't fuck with the timeline. But I guess the same thing happens a little bit in Tenet, like how it all affects the future versus the past, going backwards.
There's very few films that get time travel right.
I honestly don't think there's been a movie that's gotten it right,
I think,
except for maybe Primer.
12 Monkeys was pretty close, I think, in terms of just the cyclical nature of it, and like you can't change things. Like that's.
But there's still the whole like the chicken and the egg aspect of it.
Right, exactly. So you run into that. With Avengers, I think it was more, they treated it...
They tried to do Back to the Future part 2.
They tried to treat it as like a linear situation where you have to keep going forward. Even if you go back, you're still technically moving forward from where you are to fix things. That was how they treated it in that, and I thought that was fine. Back to the Future, like the original Back to the Future, like the time travel is... That movie's a 10 out of 10 for me, but the time travel makes no sense.
Well, Terminator's it's 10 out of 10, but the time travel doesn't make sense in that either. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. But they're still great films. And even though it's like, Reese is actually John Connor's dad, whoa! But that doesn't make any fucking sense, though. But it's still cool.
That's hard to say that someone didn't get time travel right because it's all theoretical.
That too.
Sure.
You can't,
it doesn't exist.
Never been done.
It would have to exist for that to be the case, right?
Yeah. I think some films do it better than others.
Yeah, some films take it more seriously than others.
Yeah.
But in Tenet, that when he goes to meet that girl who tells him about the inertia thing or whatever, she flat out says, don't think about it, just go with it or whatever. And that's
like the tagline for the whole movie.
That's Nolan talking to the audience right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he reiterated that shit. He did an interview where I think he did another screening for a re-release for Tenet, and he just reiterated that again, which is just a fucking cop-out.
I totally agree. Total fucking cop-out.
Just go with it.
It's like, dude, if all these people are telling you that they're fucking confused watching it, that means you fucked up. It's not them.
Right.
No. No, you need to see it again.
I think he's a little better about that, though, like with blaming the audience.
No,
I think he's receptive.
Yeah, I think so too. And
I guess he's not receptive to the sound editing because he's still
no, not that.
Keeps doing that.
The only thing that Nolan's ever kind of compromised with the sound editing is with Bane's voice. Because I don't know if you guys ever saw, like, when you saw Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol in IMAX, it actually showed the prologue to Dark Knight Rises, the whole plane sequence in the beginning.
Yeah.
And if you saw that, you got to hear how Bane sounded from in the beginning, like before they changed the voice.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and like it sounded so fucked up. Everyone in the theater was like, "What?" And then you see when you see the final film, it's like now Bane,
the shit out of
now
him.
Bane is ADR'd in 5.1 surround sound.
Yeah, now he's coming from every side.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of what this sounded like?
It sounded like a bullhorn in a wind tunnel. I actually really liked like the. It was weird. It was like a mini bullhorn, and that was kind of cool. And I just felt like they needed to like take that concept but clean that up. But they totally changed it, and now it just, like I said, it sounds like he's like in every fucking speaker channel in the theater, you know. But it was like a muffled bullhorn. It's so hard to explain. But literally everyone in the theater was like,
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh no, they froze. Oh, no.
That's like,
Oh, they did freeze.
if you're gonna freeze, like that was.
I was wondering if it was my internet at first. Oh no.
That's the moment to freeze on.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, wait, no, we're back. We're back.
That was,
We
that was
froze.
a good freeze, guys.
That was
That was a great
was-
freeze, like impeccably timed.
Oh, right.
It was perfect. It was the punctuation that the anecdote needed.
Well, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to run to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, well, I hope they know they're back on. They're not.
"Mute your
off.
mic."
Oh, I know. I'm definitely going to mute my mic. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
That
I
would have been
think they know.
glorious.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. Let's see. What can we talk about Bobby as he's backstage?
All right, Matt. What do you not like about him?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Bobby, Jesus.
What a dick.
Now, do you guys always sit in the same chair?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're always on the left and he's on the right. Okay.
Yep, that's
Was
our thing.
Was there a, not an argument, I'll say discussion about where one of you would sit versus the other in an Ebert and Siskel kind of way?
No, for whatever reason, like, so when this set is part of my house, and
Gorgeous
before we,
set.
I love it.
It's a
I know.
fucking awesome.
It's
Dude,
so amazing.
It's not hyperbole. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass. It's my favorite fucking set on
oh, thank you,
YouTube. It's,
thank you.
That anyone has.
Oh, yeah, but before
It's so cozy. I always thought it was your basement, and you're like, no, that's my second floor.
yeah, it's a little nook on my second floor. But before we had this set, we were doing it in my old apartment, and that like where we were sitting in my old apartment, we just stayed in the same position. There was really no conscious effort as to why Bobby is on the right of frame and I'm on the left of frame. They're asking us like why we sit on.
I don't know. Guess where we put the chairs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is my good side. You know.
Well, you're getting compliments from Ajax 16. Definitely an awesome set. Great job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you guys definitely have. I don't know. It's so cozy to watch you. It's like every time Bobby texts me,
warm lighting.
oh, here's a new video. I'm like, oh, great. I know what I'll be watching when I get home.
It's straight up is. And what also helps, and I've mentioned this before to Hardcut before, is they're carpeted. That set is carpeted, and it also
we don't have a lot of echo.
Well,
you don't have that reverb
soundproofing as well. But
yeah.
I mean, I grew up in a house where the living room was carpeted, and you would just remember, for those that did, that cozy feeling where you could just it's winter outside and the heat is blowing, and you're laying on you could fall asleep on the carpet, right? It's a nostalgic feeling that's being conveyed with the carpet, but also soundproofing as well.
Well, the carpet actually drives me nuts from a visual standpoint. I've been wanting to like put vinyl flooring in here, but
it looks good though.
I think it's great as is.
Well, I mean, and it does help with sound, so probably.
Yeah.
Me, I have I'm in a room and there's no way. I live out on a big drag, so there's always noise. And if ever the thing that pisses me off the most, it's happened now multiple times. I like to record at night because just the lighting conditions are better. And there's been a bunch of protests. I don't care what the cause is, but the helicopters will just hover, and you can just hear them. And I'm like, fuck, I have to wait until like 11 p.m. until they go away so I can record 10 minutes of a video.
Where are you? Upper West Side?
Upper East Side, yeah.
Upper East Side, okay.
Yeah, so like there's been protests. Like I do remember like during 2020 Summer of Love, the shit came up First Avenue, so it was like right there, and they were like all over my street. I remember the one day they were doing the marches. I wanted to meet up with my friend just for a beer, and he lives around the corner, and he's like, yeah, let's just nix this and go another night. But yeah, the noise in here is pretty unbearable. I hope I sound better with the mic.
It sounds good.
That sounds good, yeah.
Unlike the last few times, because I usually had it like over here.
Way far away. No, it sounds much better.
Yeah. And I guess like during my videos, I like set it up like so you can't really see it, and I'm like talking directly into it.
It's okay to see it.
You think so?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I need to get the arm.
Arm is great. You definitely
when the funds come in. What did Elon say? Funding secured.
No.
I love those memes. There's so many good memes out there. Have you guys seen the latest one? I mean, it's got me and my friends like cracking up. The blonde chick, she's like, I'm looking for a man in finance. Trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes.
I haven't seen that.
They're fucking hysterical, and like people have started remixing it into like club songs. So it's like, oh, this is the song of summer 2024.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
It's I did my own little like BS remix on Instagram to my friends, but yeah, that's been going around. I don't know what other good movies are coming out later on this year, other than like I guess Megalopolis and Twisters.
Bad Boys is coming out. I don't know if that's going to be good.
Who's directing that?
It's the two like Iranian guys
out.
that did the last one.
Oh.
I don't know if they're the same ones directing this one. The Watchers,
It's not?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it is.
Okay, all right.
They were the ones that were directing the Batgirl movie before it got canceled.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't even aware there was a third Bad Boys movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I have it, but I haven't watched it.
I enjoyed Bad Boys 3. I thought it was good.
Really?
Wasn't it called Bad Boys for Life?
Yeah.
That's what 4 should have been called?
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's
kind of silly.
I'm in the minority on this, but I fucking hate Bad Boys 2, and I love the first one.
I'm
Everyone
not
loves
crazy about
It's
the
usually the
second Bad
reverse.
Boys
Yeah.
No, the
either.
second one sucked.
Fuck the second one.
Some people love the second one. My brother, it's like his favorite. I'm not crazy about it. It's okay.
I am a Michael Bay apologist. I fucking love the guy, even though Transformers sucks. But aside from those, like,
Transformers.
I like the first Transformers.
We talked about that last time.
We did.
Yeah.
That's right. That came up.
But I remember I was so excited for Bad Boys 2 because Michael Bay was like, he just got off like a string of PG-13 movies. You know, he did like Pearl Harbor, Armageddon, but like his last rated R movie was The Rock, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait till he gets back to this. Mm-hmm. And then that movie came out, and it was just fucking stupid. It was like he took his Transformers sensibilities and shoved it into a Bad Boys movie. I don't know. I did not like it. The action's good, but because it always is. But
I mean, I remember
the third
seeing.
one is better.
Okay.
For
I wasn't
sure.
even aware that the third one was made.
That one was like one of the last films I think we saw on the big screen before the world started.
Is the third one rated R?
yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's good. At least.
But also, there's Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out. I already got my ticket. For
That's
that.
probably going to be huge.
That's going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
There's a re-release of The Crow, which I'm going to go see
the
next
remake.
week.
The remake. There's the remake.
Oh my god.
There is a remake. I don't know when. I had those tickets.
I think that's coming over the summer.
That's like that screams like end of August release.
Yeah, that's late summer release.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen Boy Kills World.
So I
you saw that?
How was
downloaded
that?
it off the high seas. Was
That
it
one
good?
was one of the mystery movies. I actually enjoyed it. I had some issues with some stuff at the end, but I had fun with it.
Now, does it receive like the sin seal of approval for recommendations? Because
Well,
that's golden.
I mean, I had fun with it.
Okay.
But there was some stuff that happened at the end that kind of messed up some of the narrative for me. Not like in any sort of agenda thing, or it was just like something that happened that made no sense to me, continuity wise. Like it felt like a hole in the plot.
Does it set up for a sequel?
I didn't really get that sense. It was just, it was different. It was fun. It was goofy. The narrator voice, Bill Skarsgård's character, he can't talk, so he chose that game voice to be like basically his thought.
The
narrative.
Bob's Burgers guy.
Yeah, whoever he is.
It's the dude from Archer. It's Archer's voice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer looked kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it looks really fun.
It's not the best movie ever, but I enjoyed it. I certainly was. It was better than Babes, for sure.
Is the violence good in it?
Oh my gosh, the violence is insane.
Well, is it like a bunch of CG violence, or
it's
is
like
it
hardcore Henry type? Like
I can't stand like fake
stuff
CG
involving
gore.
a cheese grater, which was pretty gnarly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna bring this up so that Kyle and Hardcut can go at it. Roadhouse.
We're getting a sequel to one of the worst movies.
Oh, fuck that movie. That movie is a bastardization of a great film.
I haven't watched that yet.
Don't.
No
it's
bother.
terrible.
It was pretty bad.
I'm not super crazy about the original.
Well, I guess okay.
It's okay.
If you don't care that much about the first one, I guess going into the remake, you probably won't.
You might be a little bit more open to it.
You might be a little more open to it.
Yeah.
You won't share the animosity that we have for it because we're like diehard
since I've seen
Roadhouse fans.
The
so.
original. And
Yeah, then see the new one. Then it's like, good. Don't listen to us.
You know a Jake Gyllenhaal movie that I recently saw for the first time ever that I cannot get out of my brain?
Oh, I've never Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko's great.
How that movie just blew my mind.
Also with Patrick Swayze.
Yes,
That's true.
yes.
Yeah.
Little time travel action in that
Time
one.
travel.
Yeah, I almost brought it up during the time travel discussion.
Yeah,
I gotta go back and watch that
he's
actually.
like a pedophile in that movie. I forgot about that.
Wait, what was that?
Swayze, he's like a
Is he kind of a pedo
Yes,
in that?
yes, he was. My review for that went up. What's today? Yeah, my son and I did like a collab review of it because we both saw it together for the first time.
Cool.
And
Swayze fucking balls on that man he had. He played a drag queen and a fucking pedophile. Like, that guy had some balls on him.
Yeah.
He was great.
Tu Wong Fu.
Too long food. I mean, for me, do you guys think that his biggest hit was Ghost?
He probably his biggest hit,
Commercially, probably.
But his best film is Roadhouse.
I haven't
Roadhouse.
compared.
Dirty Dancing. It's
Yeah, I
one of
haven't.
those.
Don't know.
Dirty
what the
Dancing is
numbers
good,
are.
but it's no
Dirty
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second.
Hey, I like
What
The
are we talking
Outsiders,
about
too.
here? Are you talking about like audience reach and box office, or
No, we're just talking about superior film.
Yes.
Superior
superior
No, I
film.
agree with that. I think Roadhouse is better than Dirty Dancing, but it's not better than Ghost.
Oh,
Well, commercially,
What
Ghost
are we
is
talking
better.
about?
But Roadhouse is a better
Ghost
film.
is a great movie.
Or
but it's not-
audience rewatchability and quality.
Ghost has mass appeal. Roadhouse has like
Man appeal.
man appeal. Yeah.
Well, I can't speak for Swayze, but I would sense that. I mean, the way he talked about, if you watch the interviews about Ghost, how much more that meant to him.
Well, sure.
Yeah, it's a very heavy role.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad. He just dies straight up in the beginning. I was like, oh fuck, really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in that movie, like him like learning how to be a ghost and interact and everything. And
Yes. And another thing, well, a little behind the scenes thing is he had that note because the original script had it in which he wasn't interacting with people in the scenes. And he didn't want to be this passive observer as a ghost, So one of the notes that he had was that. It was like, how can I interact with actual physical objects talking to the writer? And then the writer took it from there. So
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, let's
his
not
input is what brought the quality up.
one of the best parts about Ghost was Tony
fucking
Goldwyn, the villain.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That guy sweats so much in that movie.
Yeah.
No one else.
Fantastic.
Now you know in the movie when those demon things come out and pull people to hell.
Yeah,
it always scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah. When they come and they grab him at the end, like, and they drag him away, that was scary.
Yeah, that was a great. I mean, that was a solid flick. Like Demi
great.
Moore was like pretty hot back in the day.
Whoopi Goldberg won an Oscar for it.
Yeah,
and she's great in it.
Yeah, Roadhouse is still better though.
Roadhouse is better.
I enjoyed the original Roadhouse. I mean, I only watched it, ahead of the remake because I don't remember watching it as a little kid. But it was an enjoyable 80s movie.
Oh, it's peak 80s cheese.
Love to hear what you thought of the remake then, Paul.
I mean, so I essentially watched them back to back, or like pretty close to one another. The remake didn't have the charm of the original. The way that Swayze carried himself.
Oh my gosh! Sorry.
It's all right. What kind of dog do you have?
Chihuahuas. These two in the room with me are Chihuahuas, and
Jesus.
she is. I don't know what is up her butthole right now, but she's barking at something. I'll mute till she shuts
They
up.
want to comment on the original Roadhouse.
Clearly, yeah. But no. So Swayze's character in the original, he was like more methodical. Like you could.
He's fucking cool.
He was observing like the situation and like measured his reaction like a man should, instead of like what we've been getting, I guess, the last 20 years of like men that can't control their emotions and go off the rails. Whereas the second one, it just didn't have that same level of charm. Gyllenhaal like didn't really have that same cunning sense of environment. Don't get me wrong, I like Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor, but I don't think he was that great in this movie.
No,
he
and I think a lot of that.
bad. I don't think he was that bad. And my favorite scene is when he's being approached by one of the lackeys of the main baddie, and he says, "You're going to come with me right now."
Oh, Bob Mendley or whatever.
Right, he breaks his fingers, the trigger fingers, so he has no advantage with the firearm. I thought that was a great scene.
Oh, in the remake.
In the remake, yeah. The remake. And look, he's not going to have the same stoicism that Swayze had, because why would you? I mean, do you want the same portrayal?
Yeah, if he's Dalton, then
if he's portraying the same character, then yes.
Yeah.
But maybe this goes back to what you guys were talking about last week with the current state of the male lead in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a Dalton back than.
I think it's still possible for what Gyllenhaal brings to some of his roles is a kind of zaniness. I mean, he's been doing that since Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy and Roadhouse in the same sentence is not what we want.
He brought a little bit of that zaniness to the role where he's or you could also say Nightcrawler. Like there's that kind of.
He does go Nightcrawler in this movie.
Yeah, a little bit of sociopath in the way that he's kind of smiling. Yeah, I just broke your fingers, and you're gonna have to go to the hospital now. Okay.
I wish if they had just committed though to like one or the other, like Dalton in the original.
Yeah.
He's very measured, and he snaps at the end because his mentor dies. In the new one, like Gyllenhaal snaps over.
Nothing.
No,
you
just get the sense that he's a fucking weirdo, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right, he snaps because the bookstore burned down, but the people were fine, and then he just goes all calm and psycho.
He turns into Nightcrawler. And I would have rather have seen that bubbling under the surface the whole film rather than just popping up at the end. Something like that.
Yeah. He's just kind of just too nice and average for most of the film.
I would have wanted to see, like what you're saying, Kyle, that he kind of brings this zaniness to whatever role he plays. Well, let's see that Jake Gyllenhaal version of stoicism. Like, what does that look like? Well, we didn't get that. Like, the character is not stoic whatsoever anymore. Yeah. You know, I don't think it's a good idea to remake the movie whatsoever. But if you're going to, then try, take the foundations of what made Roadhouse so awesome, and build on that. Like, use your own spin, but don't
make him a different character.
Or
make him his
Yeah.
own character. Don't call him Dalton. Call him something else. And it's like, here's the 2024 Roadhouse. He's a different guy. Then there's no pressure to be like what Dalton was.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
If they just changed his name, I think we would have been a little better with it. But
it would have still been terrible. But yeah.
I mean, I'm going to throw this out. Do you think it's the writing or his portrayal of it?
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's a good actor.
Jake Gyllenhaal is a fantastic actor. He's in some great movies, but I think it was more so on the writing level and the directing level. Like, kicking it to Gyllenhaal and just saying like, yeah, just
do whatever,
play it this way, or you want to play it that way. However that went down, I don't think that was the right call, and I don't blame Gyllenhaal for that at all.
Yeah,
I just think like it's a script level and it's a Doug Liman level, like directing level.
I think the two biggest notes for me are they don't make the scene in which he's training the people at the Roadhouse to actually go about dealing with the adversaries and the trouble that happens in the bar.
Yeah,
it just like, hey, here's a way to do it. Just make sure they're outside and
right, that's all it takes to do what he does.
Right, that's it. There's no orientation.
I mean, he tells that one guy, he's like, just lean back and punch him, and then that's how you take out a guy with a knife.
And that's it.
Right.
It's
go
like,
for their knees, and then they're like he gives them 2 or 3 tips, and then he's just
sitting at the bar the whole movie.
Right.
He let them handle most of the.
Shit. In the original Swayze, like once he trained the guys, he was like walking around the bar, still kind of like a wraith in the background, But this one, like Jake Gyllenhaal's just chilling at the bar. It's like you feel like he's just sitting on his ass doing nothing and like letting his crew work.
Swayze did that too, but it was they made it more interesting, and they had that scene where he was giving an orientation. You're fucking gone. You're fucking gone.
Yeah.
You're going to be nice. You be nice, everyone.
But
okay.
There's also an overall issue with the new one where, in the original, like you see the progression of him cleaning the bar up.
Yeah.
In this, like, there's no progression. Like, he takes out some guys and some other people show up. He takes them out, but like you never see any kind of real change.
Yeah, like the set decoration progresses in the original.
It just stays the same, so it just doesn't feel like you're moving forward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the greatest looking set. It kind of looks like it's overlit, like it's a fucking theatrical production. You have these overhead lights that it's too overlit. It doesn't look like a bar. It looks like a high school stage play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the action scenes, it's way too much.
That's a whole
CGI.
separate issue that I don't even want to touch because it's just ridiculous. But I hope they don't do that for the sequel. And hey, maybe the sequel.
They're going to go
another
overboard
one
with it. Yeah, they are. Amazon
I thought that's why you brought this whole thing up.
They greenlit a sequel, Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I only brought it up because
so many people watched it and loved it.
I don't know. I think so many people watched it.
Kyle versus Mark,
no, but here's we can get into a little bit of a fight here, which is very apropos to it, because I do think that I would rather watch, with the exception of the last scene by the water, because they actually exchanged real blows to each other, and
they exchanged real CG blows.
No,
they didn't actually hit each other.
I'm talking about the original. Wait up. I'm talking about the original.
Sorry.
They exchanged real blows. Swayze and the other dude, the bad guy, I can't remember his name. He threw he swatted an actual piece of wood against Swayze's ribcage and broke some ribs there. So that scene, I think, holds up pretty well. However, I think that the fight scenes are more interesting to watch. They're more engaging with the camera work. And I know you don't like the stitching and all that stuff. And you said that the contact of the punches don't don't make contact.
They're composited shots.
It looks fake. Like you can't. The idea behind the shots, okay, but the execution is so poorly done that it just takes you right out of it.
Do you say that for every scene, including the last fight with McGregor?
The entire film. When he gets hit, when the car tries to hit him on the bridge and he falls into the truck.
Oh my God!
It's all just this composite mess. But that last fight scene in the bar where he's fighting McGregor, like if you watch that scene like slow down, because I had to look at a lot of those clips when I was editing our video. There's scenes where like the camera moves with McGregor and McGregor like flips off screen, and like when you see him hit the ground, like he has no shadow. Like there are times that where it is so poorly done.
Okay, if you look that closely,
you notice it though in real time. It's just you don't know why it looks fucked up until you actually slow it down or freeze it.
And you see that it's not done right.
But it's apparent when you're just watching it. It looks like shit.
I mean, but I have seen a lot of comments on other videos of people like, yeah, the fight scenes were so kick-ass, they were great. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't know. It's just like this different mentality.
I'm not seeing that. I see.
Don't think about it.
Don't think about it. Just go with it.
No,
go with it.
It's not that same comparison of don't think about it, feel it. I'm actually watching the scene and I see the stitching of the different shots that they're putting together, but the fighting it has a flow to it that I didn't notice in the way that you did. And my favorite fucking part is when he has the shards of wood from the broken chairs and he fucking does that to McGregor's body.
When he's stabbing him at the end?
Yeah, he does I called it, you and I exchanged some messages, I called it the death blows, and you said, he doesn't fucking die! You know?
Non-death blows, yeah.
And so I did switch my, the purported death blows, it was supposed to be death blows, right? That's what I meant. But I love that. I love that move, and it's all done in a wide...
Well, that's okay. If you want to say like you like the style of the fighting and the moves, that's fine. But like it's all an execution thing.
Right, but one of the you have like at least admit this: the framing of it and the way that they allow most of the time, they are shooting either like around torso up or more, where you're seeing full body. In the way of the fight and how they shoot it is so much better.
The style,
just like in Batman Begins, which
yeah. The style of the fighting, like the idea behind it is they wanted you to see everything.
Yeah.
And so, can I appreciate that? Sure, but still, the way it's done, it's executed so poorly that it just destroys what they tried to do in the first place.
Always like going wider is always better in a fight like that. You really want to see every hit land.
Yeah, like when you watch The Raid or something, those fights are fucking phenomenal because you see everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's no compositing.
I mean, it's just like it's choreographed. The choreography's fine, but to me, it felt it just dived into that like Marvel CGI crap fest. Or even worse, like the DC CGI.
Well, that's the problem that I had. It's like, oh my God, even like a movie that's about fucking bar fighting, you have to like turn it into a superhero movie now.
Right.
Fuck off.
Right.
You can have like these like grungy, like shitty B movies where people are still doing like stunts. And, like,
especially you're going to bring in like a UFC fighter like McGregor.
Yes.
Like, I understand, like, yeah, you're using him for his abilities, but like, use him in a way that is like gritty and real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have problems with people that utilize CGI where they don't even try to make it look real. I fucking hate that. And that this movie does that.
When you say that they composited, are you saying that they shot separately from the location on, say, a green screen?
Yes. Well, okay, not necessarily the location. What they did was they had like an actor standing there, and like the actor throws a punch, and there was another guy like with like a mitt, and he punches the mitt, right? And then they removed the person with the mitt and put in the other actor, and then the other actor takes the hit. So like you still get the recoil of like the fist hitting something because he's hitting a glove,
right?
But then they just composited the other actor in to make it look like he's getting hit, and it's not real. It's fake. Like not like in the original, like they're not hitting each other.
Yeah.
They're doing it in a way where it looks like they're hitting each other, but they're still both standing there.
That's one of the techniques that they did. The other thing that they did,
both artifice.
The other thing that they did though was they actually had like CGI doubles that they like imposed over them, and it would cut to them during the fight, and you can especially in the Post Malone scene, the very beginning, that's where you can really see it for the first time. It looks fake as shit.
Because like you see Post Malone, like he's hitting something, and the guy's like reacting a certain way, and you can tell Post Malone's actually punching something, but it's not really his face. It's just there's just something off about it, and as soon as your brain thinks like this is off, all of a sudden like I'm out of it. Like I can't. I'm not invested anymore.
It didn't cross the line for me in terms of me finding it unacceptable. I think that's the point. I could detect that there was something off about it, but not enough. Degrees here, I think.
I think the bigger problem is that they felt the need to reinvent the wheel for something that should have been very simple fight choreography. Like, I don't know why they felt the need that they had to do this. Because if they hadn't, like, I think this movie would have been...
It's almost like they had to give this movie a gimmick, and it's like, why? Just make it a straightforward...
Like, the fights, the punches have to be as real as possible. It's like, this is not the first movie that's been choreographed for a fight scene. Like, we've got this down pretty good. Like, have you seen, like, the last 4 John Wick movies? Like, they look pretty good, and they're not, like, compositing the hell out of the fight scenes. You know, it's just as one example, but I don't know why they couldn't just... keep it simple and do that. It's a bar fight movie. Like it's not a Marvel movie. Like you don't need CGI for simple fights.
Well,
these are characters that are like.
What I love about this is that the fact that we're talking about it, and you guys mentioned it in your review. Hopefully, more people mention that, and there's a betterment in the sequel.
Hey, sure, if we'll see. I mean,
do you think Hollywood has started listening?
No, not really.
No, if anything, it's just going to be more like, oh, the Marvel movies are doing this, they're successful.
Amazon said it was successful, and
they do the same thing.
They obviously greenlit us for a reason because it was so successful. It's like, then why would you change what you're doing?
The only way I would say that they're probably moving away from doing that is if they hire a different director. But
if Doug Liman
that would be an
was
indication
out.
that they might not go that way. But I think he's going to do it. So it's just going to be. It's going to, as a sequel usually is. It's just the first one times fucking 5.
Well, so maybe they'll bring it to Missouri, and it'll be the same setting as the original.
So this one was kind of like Dalton Begins.
And now we're going to get Dalton Rises.
Okay.
Nice. or the Dark Dalton.
The Dark Dalton.
Yeah, but hey, listen, maybe they will take some feedback from, you know, and they'll go into the second one and they'll fix everything, but we're not that lucky.
The reason why they do that stuff in the first place is because they realize that normies watching it are not going to pick up on that. In fact, it's more like the normies are going to be more comfortable with it because it looks like a Marvel movie.
Because they're already watching TV with motion enhancer on, so shit already looks off.
When people are watching videos vertically on their fucking phones.
So I think most people watching this movie, because they don't even know what motion enhancer is on a TV, they have it set to on. It's like the way you watch sports. They won't even notice it. So who cares? Just keep doing it. And then you get people like us who are like, we'll notice the difference between 24 frames and 30 frames in a heartbeat. Like, you know.
Although McGregor...
he was fantastic.
Yeah,
he's the best part of the movie.
He was having fun with it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think we can all agree on McGregor being the best part.
It's like what Bobby said in our review. Like he's the only one that seems like he was part of the original. Like he had that same personality that he's like part of the original. And that's a good way of putting it.
Over the top, like
ridiculous.
Yeah, he's having fun. He's ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's what that movie needed more of.
So that was his theatrical debut, or whatever, movie debut. Is he set to start in anything else?
I don't know. I mean, he sucks in it, but that's part of the charm.
He fits that world perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he sucks. It ironically sucks?
No, he just got that... People are like spoofing like the way he walks and shit. And it's like, dude, he just...
I mean...
He's serviceable. Like he's fine. He's great in the movie.
He's great for that type of movie.
Yeah.
Like if you were to take him and put him in like a drama, I'd be like, no, I don't think so. But for this type of story, he's perfect.
Or if you try to like put him in like,
but we don't know yet. We haven't seen.
If you want him to play roles that The Rock plays, I don't think he can. pull that off.
I was just gonna say The Rock fits that same bill, and it seems that The Rock is kind of on his way out after Joe Rogan made fun of his use of vitamin S, and so I guess there is a void to be filled at this point, and McGregor does fit that bill.
I don't give a shit if this is a hot take. I think The Rock is an inferior actor compared to McGregor.
Wow. Hey, I won't even challenge you on that because we haven't seen McGregor. We haven't seen McGregor. His real acting chops.
I think The Rock is literally the definition of his name.
Yeah.
His acting is stone. It doesn't change at all. It's the same fucking performance.
I think he's got range in a few roles, but most of the time he's just playing The Rock.
His voice roles in Moana was fine. He was good in that. But
Southland Tales.
What?
Southland Tales.
It's the director of Donnie Darko.
The guy who did his film after Donnie Darko.
Okay,
The Rock is like this nervous, like he's got this twitchy energy the whole movie.
Okay.
And it's different. It's different for him.
Well, this is when The Rock was like experimenting. This is before he like eased into his persona, movie persona.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I still think he's like the 21st century version of Steven Seagal.
Well, I think that it's. I kind of feel the same way about The Rock that I feel about Jason Statham. Like, I like the guys. I think that they've got decent enough charisma. They're just in shit movies. And so if they like Arnold, like Schwarzenegger, he didn't do Kindergarten Cop until like 15 years into his career.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like that made sense at that point because he had this image, and so you see him in Kindergarten Cop, haha, funny. But like The Rock was like in the fucking Tooth Fairy and like all those dumb movies very early on in his career. And so he just was not purposely selective about the movies that he picked.
Yeah.
And I think that he just needed to pick better action movies. But that being said, everything that's being made now sucks anyways. He's going to be in some drama coming up pretty soon about like a boxer or something. It's like a dramatic.
Oh, yeah,
really?
Yeah, he's got hair in the movie. It looks weird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
But now he's back with. Sorry, Sin.
No, I was just going to say, so you mentioned Kindergarten Cop, but I was thinking also of Twins that came about.
Yeah, exactly.
Before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one. This is just a little bit of trivia that I found out. Well, I didn't know this before I listened to Arnold's latest book called Be Useful. He was talking about, so when he did Twins, that was a big risk for the studio because he'd never done a comedy before. And they're like, yeah, no. And so he and the director and Danny DeVito, they went to like whoever was going to be in charge of giving them the money. And they were like, look, we really believe in this and we think it can work. How about we'll do the work for free and we'll just take a percentage of, the profits or whatever.
Yeah.
That movie has been the biggest moneymaker for Arnold in his entire career. That one movie.
In residuals.
That blew my mind. Yeah. That was crazy. Anyway,
That's
that was just a little bit of Arnie trivia.
That's why Danny DeVito can go off and do Always Sunny and risk his career.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
Yeah, they all made bank on that
sweating
film.
out of a leather couch and not worrying about like blacklisted or.
That's not my favorite Arnold film, though. I'm not crazy about comedies. But
So did you guys hear like the spat between Stallone and Schwarzenegger back in the 90s that Arnold was
like
basically
80s.
No, well, yeah,
90s.
but that Arnold was fucking with him like after he did, I guess, Kindergarten Cop.
He talked
was
him
like,
into doing what was it?
Don't-
from the train or
Yeah.
Was it that one? Yeah.
Top where my mom will shoot.
He played head games. Yeah, that one. He played head games with him.
I mean, this goes back. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Pumping Iron, the documentary. Schwarzenegger was such a fucking asshole, and it's so funny. He used to get in all the other bodybuilders' heads.
And
Of course, a lot of that was so like a lot of that was definitely hyped up for the movie. Only generally, really for the movie, but it is kind of. It matches his personality a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I remember reading that at some point that he like fucked with him and like made it like got him to do the movie. That's
singing
awesome.
Happy Birthday to Lou Ferrigno at the end after Arnold just won the whole competition and he's just like conducting it. Like, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite line in Pumping Iron is like, "It feels like I'm coming
I'm
all the
coming.
time."
Yeah,
I wake up in the morning and I'm coming.
yeah, and it was
I'm
such
coming
all
at
in.
I
night.
walk my dog and I'm
coming
coming.
in the morning.
it was such bullshit, but it was funny.
No.
Yeah.
No, I love the part where like he's like fucking with Ferrigno, and so then Ferrigno goes to work out, and he's like doing squats or something. No, he's doing like some military presses, and like Ferrigno's dad, his trainer, is like, "What are you thinking about, Ferrigno? What are you thinking about, Lou? What are you thinking about?" Arnold, Arnold, Arnold.
If you look deeper in that, it has a different interpretation of what that means.
Yeah.
There's a homoeroticism going on in that movie.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Lens,
Yeah, 100%. So, what's everybody's favorite Schwarzenegger movie?
Oh, that one's too easy for me.
True Lies, the new transfer.
The new transfer.
I would actually say that from a performance standpoint, I think that Arnold's best performance is True Lies. But
performance, for an action movie,
yeah, like he's actually really good in it.
Yeah,
his comedy is really
his comic
comedic,
timing and
action,
it just when he's like Helen, she's having an affair. Like that seems really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Terminator 2 is
Terminator. You're gonna have to go to Terminator 2.
That's really up there.
Absolutely.
That last scene where he's saying goodbye.
Oh, dude.
Come on.
I know now why you cry.
He delivered a performance from a non-emotional character where he delivered it with such subtlety.
Yeah.
Where he talked about, I know why now you cry.
I know now why you cry, but it's something I
with
can
such
never do.
poignant delivery.
Yeah. And then he touched the little.
That's fucking great. Yeah.
And then the thumbs up.
And then
oh
the
my
thumbs.
god.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'm
I
getting
love
chills
that
talking
scene.
about it.
Dude, and like when he's going down and the music's going,
Yeah,
it's so good. The Terminator theme is it's good.
Oh, just the way
epic.
I know. Oh, I love that movie so much, you guys. It's like my favorite movie.
I got very fond memories. Like the way I saw it
good.
when I was a little kid. It was like I was at like my uncle's wife's
Oh, that's awesome.
family farm or some shit. And one of the cousins came through and was like super hungover. I'm like 9 years old at the time. And I'm like, hey, play with me. And the guy's like, fuck. And he just puts on Terminator 2 for me and like passes out.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Predator's up there too in terms of just
The Predator's solid.
like.
Predator's really good.
I mean, it's more of a straightforward, action.
You know
but
something he's actually pretty good in as far as dramatic acting, and it's kind of outside of his role, outside of his norm, was Maggie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually a very sad movie, and his performance in there was good. And that was a movie that he did he didn't even get paid for that film.
Yeah.
It's not like his best ever, but it definitely shows he's got a little bit more range than what we typically, want to give to him. Fubar sucked though, you guys.
That was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
I think I just watched
I watched a few episodes and I'm like,
and there is like standard Arnold acting, and then there's below that.
That was way below, right?
He barely knows his lines. Maybe he's reading off of a.
Yeah, he's going one line at a time.
And it's getting a second season.
Yeah, it is.
How? Who watched that show?
Guys, oh my god!
I think we got 2 episodes in, and we just were like, "This is stupid."
Is that the show where the girl from Top Gun is in it?
Yes.
Yeah. He's his daughter, who's like,
she's so
she's a
freaking
spy, and
annoying
he
in
doesn't
there.
know.
Yeah, and he's a spy, and she doesn't. Anyway,
Yeah.
the scene where the woman had to, oh my goodness. So I'm at my brother's house. We were all watching it together because we all love Arnie. And I'm at my middle brother's house, Matthew. I'm at his house. Tim's there. We're all there. We're watching Fubar. That scene where the woman had to pee in the jar so she could create liquid. Oh, you haven't seen it. Oh my gosh, that's right. You haven't got that far. There's a scene. You should see my review. I just went all out on this thing. There's a scene where she has to, this guy has gotten injured, and she has to do something like to cut in his lung to relieve whatever. But she needs to have liquid to create a vacuum. What is so stupid? She pees in a cup. But she can't pee because, I just can't pee on command. I can't pee while people are looking. So they have to sing her a song.
Are you sure you weren't watching a fetish video?
It was so stupid. So in order to get her to loosen up so she can pee, and she was terrible. I hated her character in there. She was awful. They all had to sing to her like through the comms so she could pee.
That sounds fucking terrible.
And then she peed, and they're like, this like liquid gold. And my brother Matt, he was sitting on the couch and he started like doing this raise up, like this half raise up, like it's like, what the heck is happening?
So to clarify,
so stupid.
This is the actress from Top Gun Maverick doing a pissing in a jar? No,
not her. It was another actress. She was terrible.
Well,
But no, it wasn't that one. You guys, I put a little clip of it at the very beginning of my review if you want to just see that little tiny clip.
So Sin, I've got a little bit of a hot take question. Is FUBAR worse than Terminator 3? Because, and then this is like a real hot take.
Yes.
I think Terminator 3 is like not that bad.
No, FUBAR is absolutely... Terminator 3 is a masterpiece compared to FUBAR.
Terminator 3 has the crane sequence, which is really good.
Yeah.
But fuck that movie. But if you compare it to like all the Terminator movies now, it's like the least offensive.
Yeah.
But it fucking sucks though.
It's decent-ish. I mean, I've seen all of the Terminator movies. The only Terminator movie that pissed me off, like seriously pissed me off, was Dark Fate. I refuse to ever watch that movie again.
Is that the one where
this is the newest one.
Furlong gets
he gets shot in the beginning?
Okay, yeah.
Fuck that.
Like,
I can deal with Genesis. Dark Fate was an absolute insult to the fans.
We have to replace John Connor with a chick.
Fate is this weird, like, pro-illegal immigrant movie. And, like, they fucking play, like, the Terminator theme with, like mariachi music. It's so...
It was basically, I mean, it was just, they just basically redid the whole John Connor thing. They just made it a Latina chick, and she's supposed to be so tough in the future. No, give me a break. No.
Oh, she was
terrible.
Laughably, every line was like, we should stay and fight. And she's like 5'2".
Nice.
Oh,
like,
it was so bad.
If there was like a height difference with me and her head, the top of her head would like over.
And she's supposed to be so
she's
tough.
saying that line.
And she's so tough. And then like on the very first time that they're teaching her how to use a gun, she's like a pro. Oh god.
Which I'm really surprised. I thought Arnold was smarter than that.
It was
I don't
such
know
a
why the hell
waste.
he agreed to that.
Such a waste. He and Linda Hamilton back together in a Terminator movie. What the heck? And it was James Cameron's idea to kill John Connor.
Yeah,
of course.
That was all his. Like I'm just. And meanwhile, he's running off doing stupid shit like.
He
Avatar.
used the same AI to kill John Connor that he used for his transfers for the Abyss.
I mean, that's symptomatic. This is
he's just stuck on Pandora for the rest of his life. So.
Wait, what were you saying, Kyle?
It brings it full circle, our discussion when we started talking about the AI transfer of true lies, etc. Is there comes a point in filmmakers and actors' careers where their standards just go down, okay, and their perceptions of what they used to have is no longer there anymore. Yeah, we've seen it with Harrison Ford allowing the atrocities of Indy 5, and 4. And with Steven Spielberg himself. Yeah. He hasn't made a great film since Minority Report and Catch Me If You Can.
No, this is why Tarantino says why he's claiming that he's going to quit movies after his 10th, making movies after his 10th film. Like, this is what he's talking about. Like he says that filmmaking is a young man's game. And I don't necessarily agree with that, but I know what he's saying. And like that's what you're right about Spielberg. I love Steven Spielberg. I mean, like it's cliche to say it, but he probably is my favorite director of all time, you know? Mm-hmm. But he hasn't
done anything in 20 years.
No, I mean like he made Ready Player One, which is just so fucking it's whatever.
It's so safe.
Yeah, it's just
but Ready Player One, I'm gonna go off on a rant here because it pissed me off to no end. So I read the book. The book was fucking great. Yeah. And
the book is fun.
It was just like diarrhea of CGI.
Yeah. Well,
how else do you do that movie?
But my point is, though, is when you're watching Ready Player One, that could have been made by any director. Like, you can't tell that it's Spielberg that did it.
It doesn't have his stamp on it.
Yeah. Minority Report, awesome. And, like, I think Minority Report is probably his last great film, big summer blockbuster. Well, yeah, but I'm talking like summer blockbuster sci-fi action movie. That's probably his last good one. But yeah, both that and Catch Me If You Can are great movies.
Well,
but
the one actor that I have in mind to counteract all this is Clint Eastwood. He never really declined.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that you can say that. I still think he's a great director too, but I think that his direction, even though he's made great movies, even in his 90s, it's gotten a little bit more tame than it used to be.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like his movies now, not so much like the war stuff, but like if you look at like what is it, Gran Torino, and like Mule and those movies, they're much smaller in scope.
Yes.
They feel more like indie films.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's fine for him considering his age. Like he's just like, I'm going to focus on like smaller stories, but still tells them well.
And that's what I'm saying.
You know?
Like, and I don't necessarily, that's not really a critique on him.
No. It's just the path he's on right now. Because he's at a point now. He's like, he's not going out and doing like,
he's found a lane and he's sticking to it, and that's cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I loved him in The Mule, which
I
is
think
basically
it's
like
good.
Gran
Mule's is
Torino.
good. It's a very like simple story. It feels like an indie film, but like it's a Clint Eastwood film. It's just like the path he's on now.
But see, I think that it's cool that he's still shitting out movies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's awesome.
And they're still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people can do it, but I think
George Miller, Fury Road.
There you go.
Yeah, He came back after a long hiatus with that series and crushed it.
George Miller he directed the first one, like back in the.
He directed all of them.
79, I think the first one was.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Road Warrior was one of the best action movies ever made.
1981 or something.
Yeah.
Those movies are
by
old.
the way, Paul, have you not seen Fury Road?
I have not. No.
You have to see it.
Yeah,
Fury
I'm
Road's
actually
fantastic.
I've seen it I'm going to watch it again. Actually, when we're done with this stream, I'm going to go watch it because I need to refresh before I see.
Yeah, I gotta watch it just before I see Furiosa, which I'm trying to figure out like when I'm gonna see it, and I also have to figure out what other movie I want to see because I have a huge disdain for movie theater prices, so I movie hop.
Yeah.
And I'm having trouble getting a second movie that I actually want to watch.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just Furiosa this weekend, really.
So
as far as new,
Kyle, I have a question for you.
Go see Fall Guy again. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a fun film.
So with Furiosa, my biggest concern about it is I liked the character in Fury Road. I thought Charlize Theron was great, but now we have a Mad Max movie without Mad Max, and it's about that. It's about her character. Like, I'm just kind of like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? I would rather see another Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
So does this movie, like, if you go into it with that opinion or that concern, does it change that? Are you kind of like, oh, that was actually really good. I'm glad that they made a Furiosa movie.
We'll see.
No comment.
I want to save it for my video.
All right, fair enough.
I'm anticipating being.
I'm just trying to see what I can get out of you right now.
Yeah.
But, all right.
I know, and it was a good try. My wife actually. I haven't even told my wife.
Wow.
Because I went to and it was stupid. I had a +1 ticket when I got there. They told me, and then I texted my wife and said, oh, "You could have been here," So, but I wanted, since I have that opportunity to put it in this kind of presentation, I've not told anybody what I've thought of the film.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
When's that video coming out?
This weekend.
Great.
Nice.
I think Film Threat's seen it, and Paulie from Latino Slant have watched it. Paulie was not
I've heard good
overly
things.
impressed.
I'll probably do it Saturday.
I listened to Film Threat talk about it, but even they aren't talking in depth with spoilers. They call it spoiler free, but they touch upon some certain things with what happens at the end that you wouldn't say in spoiler free. So, but that would be the closest I would say in long form that kind of touch upon some things that is similar to what I might say.
Spoiler, she lives. How do you guys feel like just on their face, like about prequels in general? Like, I inherently hate prequels.
I hate them too. There's no point to them. The only thing that's a prequel that is successful is Godfather 2.
Yes.
That successfully does the prequel correctly.
Because it still moves the story forward,
yes,
but does show you kind of some of the past.
Yes, but that's it. Like everything else blows.
Here's my question: since I haven't seen Fury Road, and I hope Kyle can answer this, is there any Mary Sue wokeism crap?
Okay, this I will answer. Actually, this is the one I even had a pre-established or prepared thought about if someone asked me what I thought about it.
Yeah,
what would I say? You're asking about Furiosa if there's wokeness to it?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Okay.
There isn't really a Fury Road.
No. I remember when Fury Road came out, there was like the media was making a big deal out of the right wing, saying that it was like a feminist propaganda. There's probably like 5 people that said that on a message board at one point. But yeah, Fury Road is not.
Like, she's not infallible in that movie.
No,
like, she's not like a Mary Sue.
No, not at all.
Good.
So,
okay. All right.
Yeah, so
that's my main.
When did that come out? 2015.
Yeah.
Okay, so right before we descended into madness.
Yes.
Yeah. Before Orange Man bad.
Correct.
But yeah,
but even then, I think that was when it started up. The neo-femmies, I think, were trying to co-opt Fury Road into making it look like it was a.
I would agree with that.
Feminist film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just about characters.
Right.
it's as simple as that, right?
Because the Mary Sue, like peak Mary Sue, was Rey Skywalker. And when did Force Awakens come out?
2017?
2017, I think.
Wasn't it?
Was it?
I don't know.
Shit, I don't even remember. I think it was, though.
Was it 15 or 16?
Or was it 15?
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck, I don't remember.
I saw it once.
Because,
in theaters.
What was it? Last Jedi came out in... Fuck, when
Last Jedi was what, 2019?
So when did the
right, we're looking it up.
the ninth one come out? Let's see.
Why doesn't IMDb come up right away?
All right, so Last Jedi was 2017.
2015.
Okay. All right. Wow. Same year as Fury Road.
And then I guess what the fuck is it called? What's the ninth one called?
Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Palpatine.
Right. Rise of Skywalker was 2019. Right.
Yeah. That was right before the fall.
The
end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think 2015 is like when peak woke started because. Ray picked up the fucking lightsaber and was already proficient with it against like a trained, ex-Jedi Sith Lord. So that's peak Mary Sue. I don't know what else came before that.
I find it hilarious that Mark Hamill will do interviews and he talked about when he read the script for the first time and he said, "Oh, this is where I come in and I'm gonna grab the lightsaber and battle Kylo Ren."
Nope.
No, Luke, you're done.
Nope. And he says, "Oh."
So what did Mark Hamill actually say to like the bastardization of his character?
Well, did you ever? He's gone on record telling, like he said to Rian Johnson, "I fundamentally disagree with you about this character."
Where you went with this character.
Yeah.
Because like the green milk bullshit was in Last Jedi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean that was it was just you ruined the character.
That was the scene where I stopped watching. That was when he tossed the lightsaber.
Fuck that.
It's just like the absolute last thing that character would have done.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
given where we saw him last in Return of the Jedi.
But it's so subversive.
I'm going to give you a little insight that not a lot of people talk about. Rian Johnson is a fucking troll. I'm not even kidding you. There are demonstrations of this from the Slash Filmcast that he guest, who's a guest on the reviews for a few films from like 10 years ago. While he's on those episodes, he is making he's grabbing weird instruments and noises and making noises while the other people are speaking.
Wow.
That's basically what Last Jedi
is. And everyone's laughing because, he's this filmmaker who worked with Adrian Brody and he made, Brick and all that stuff and ha ha ha. he hadn't gone on to get to the success where he is now.
Right.
But he is naturally a troll. Like, that's what he's shown himself to be. And then look at Last Jedi, what he did.
Yeah. I mean, well,
it may be subconscious, but I think it comes through naturally.
I mean, the biggest problem with that sequel trilogy was the lack of planning. They didn't have like a set storyline for all 3 movies before starting to film all 3 movies. And I think that's the biggest flaw that comes through very badly, because like 7 is just a rehash of 4, and not a very good one in my opinion.
Yeah, it's jump starting the series again, like with something that's tried and true.
It's the definition of a soft reboot.
Yeah, it's soft reboot.
Right, yeah, but like it doesn't make sense in that context.
No.
In the context of Star Wars, rather. And what did everybody think of the Acolyte?
I'm not watching that shit.
The Acolyte. Well, it's not out yet, so.
No, you mean like just the trailer? You mean? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, just the trailer.
Oh, yeah,
She looks like shit.
Oh, it looks.
Yeah.
I'm done with Star Wars after Rise of Skywalker. I said
Currently, we have a short
out of the theater. I'm done.
We have a short that's been popping off for the last 2 months.
Like, honestly, I'm just in my mind, there is nothing after Return of the Jedi.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like just retcon that shit.
That's the end.
Because I mean, yeah.
It's like Terminator 2. When he goes into that vat at the end, that's it. The series is over.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, another T-800 comes back in Rise of the Machines.
No. It's a T-101. They can't even get that right. Like, they fucked that up. Like, he calls himself a T-101 in it. Like, that's not. You're a T-800 Series 101.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of
the
Star
skin
Wars,
you're wearing is 101.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars, hard cut, you're gonna do a Attack of the Clones review.
Oh, we are deep diving in.
Yeah, people have been asking us, so we will deliver.
And we've had
Megan the Texan says you need to make Star Wars reviews, more of them.
Yeah,
they have gotten lambasted by.
We've our Phantom Menace video has more comments on it than any video we've done.
Yeah. There's this one guy in particular,
mostly by one dude, but like a few people who are just like they have their heads up their ass so far about the prequels being like 10 out of 10 movies.
Yeah, it's like when we just argued about Roadhouse. Kyle, you brought up some like rational, logical reasons as to why you enjoyed the film. These people, there is none of that. Like, it's all stupid shit.
They'll bring up their reasons, but while they're doing it, like, they're just insulting the shit out of you. Like, it's like, dude, no, we're not having this conversation.
They're saying things like
arguing with a child.
I've read some of them myself, and one of them said, if you do a review on Attack of the Clones, we will destroy you.
Oh, they're going to eradicate the channel. What? So, and I'm just like, I respond to like all this shit, like, yeah, please keep giving us the engagement.
We love it.
We love it. So yeah, come destroy us. We would love that.
They're gonna hate what we say about that.
Oh my God, we're going deep into. I've got like cards. I'm gonna put like some of their comments. We're gonna discuss. Dude, I want to take this movie apart like piece by piece, and I want to bring them up like constantly throughout the video, like things they've said.
Yeah,
this might be our longest video.
You're gonna troll them.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly cannot remember a single point that I disagreed with you on in the first one that you did.
Yeah, and then we didn't like cover everything because it's like a 25-minute review. We left some things out, but
it's like what we said. Like, what else can you cover that Plinkett hasn't covered?
Yeah,
like,
Right.
But then they cite Plinkett as being like the biggest liar when it comes. It's like, what's he lying about? He's literally just pointing out things in the movie that suck or are inconsistent or are plot holes or just bad writing. It's like saying something is bad writing it's an opinion.
Right.
Like someone else could turn around and say like, no, I think that's good writing. It's like, well, okay, that's your shitty opinion, but like. They keep saying like, oh, you're lie. Everything you're saying is a lie. It's a lie. Your lies have been debunked. Your lies have been debunked.
Yeah.
What is this? We're not saying saying factual things here that can actually be debunked.
I think it's pretty factual, actually.
Well,
I'm with you, Matt, because there's some things that are just inherently objective. And I a lot of what you say about what George Lucas did with the prequels is objectively bad.
Yeah.
especially.
But they treat this guy like he's infallible, like he can do no wrong. It's like, well,
yeah,
especially
the coping continues.
The coping.
Well, Matt,
the
you
simping
touched upon it
continues.
a little bit. You're going to get into it most likely in Attack of the Clones. The choice to shoot on digital 1080p, like the early on, where it's not even 4K and all that. And some of those fucking shots you showed in the first Phantom Menace, I didn't even remember how bad they were. They look like they're out of a fucking video game.
Yeah, and now you can say it's like the technology of the time or whatever, but it's like, well, if the technology is not there, then why is your whole movie look like this? Like,
when you watch The Empire Strikes Back, can you tell that those are miniatures and whatnot? Sure, but like the scene where they're going through the asteroid field, it looks real. So well done.
It looks good.
Yeah,
like, it's miniature, but like that's the technology of the time that they needed to use to create a scene like that.
Miniature, but it was well done. Like I remember watching the documentary on A New Hope. And that opening shot, I actually just went back and watched it the other day. The opening shot of A New Hope was fucking epic. Like they have a model set up, and they just move the camera backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's and just the music, the composition. It looked so fucking good. Like it looks great even by today's standards.
Well, technicians who knew what they were doing.
I mean, I just brought up the asteroid field sequence in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
The scene to contrast with that is the asteroid scene in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Which looks like shit.
Yeah.
It looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't well choreographed from a CGI perspective.
No, like shot compositionally sucked, and just the effects themselves are not as good as Empire Strikes Back. They're just not.
Now, do you guys think that there will be what do you call it, special editions like with the original trilogy, where they like add in a bunch of bullshit like they did in the ones that came out in '97?
With
like new ones,
like with the sequel trilogy,
with the prequels.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been.
They've actually already done that.
For the past 20 years, guys.
The one, like the footage that, like the video that we like, so you can tell that it's a newer version because in the original Phantom Menace, Yoda was a puppet. Like like a real puppet, and he actually looked like shit. Like they didn't drag out the old Frank Oz.
And they replaced him with CGI,
but they replaced him with the CGI version. So they've already over the years made changes to it.
Yeah,
with effects, color timing.
And they've even done that with the re-releases from '97. Like there's like a '97 version. There's a 2004 version. Well, like
there's like 10 different versions.
There's like so many versions where they keep changing the same effects.
Yes,
and it's like, what? Why do you keep doing this? Just leave it alone.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not like a purist on all the minutia of the original trilogy. I actually watched all three of them when they came out in '97, and I remember and it was just when Sony had their own like line of movie theaters, and surround sound just came out or whatever in theaters, and I don't know. I enjoyed the re-release in '97. Like I didn't remember like the minutia from when I watched it as a kid.
Yeah, because there's just like little things here and there. But
well, I remember, and I mentioned this I think in our review, where the scene where Jabba comes out, the deleted scene. I remember when I was young and I saw that in '97 in the theater. I was like, "Fuck, this looks like shit. That looks terrible."
See, the thing is, Paul, like you don't have to be like deep into the minutia to be a fan of Star Wars. Like these people commenting are like, "You're not a real fan of Star Wars. You don't like the Phantom. You're not a real fan." It's like, fuck you. What are you talking about?
Or they say like the dumbest phrase that people use is, "Oh, tell me you're not a Star Wars fan without telling me."
That's right, because you don't like every single like.
Sorry, I don't eat all the bullshit that they feed me.
Right,
sorry,
I only like the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of crap I got when I was complaining about Halloween kills and ends.
Oh, you're not a real Halloween fan.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
how about I am, and that's why it fucking
maybe
sucks.
Because like
Exactly.
I am a fan, which is why I can be objective and say like, no, this actually sucks. I wish it was like the original because I love the original so much.
Well, I'm going to put on my Kyle hat.
That is such a small hill to die on.
But putting on the Kyle hat on, It's like, well, how do you define fan?
Right.
Well, I think to some people, they think if you don't love every single thing that comes out within
you're
within
not a
whatever
fan.
franchise, then you're just not a fan. Then
Right.
you have
That's so weird.
You have betrayed you betrayed it.
One of the arguments I got back and forth with this guy was like, oh, like, I was talking about how the order that you would like probably watch the series in. It's like, well, you got to start with like 1, 2, and 3. It's like, no, I would never. If I was showing my kid like, Star Wars, I'm going to start the way it started because I don't want to ruin the greatest cinematic reveal, the greatest reveal in cinematic history of Empire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's ruined if you start at the beginning. So like good stories don't start at the beginning. You get thrown into a story. Like the original Star Wars starts like you said, Paul, like the ship's flying, they're shooting, it's like you're just thrust into it, and then they fill in the blanks, and that's how you get pulled into a story.
I'm going to indoctrinate the shit out of my kids as to like what Star Wars movies suck and which ones are good.
Right. Oh, they're not even going to know about the prequels.
What are you going to do about the holiday special?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're not a true fan if you don't like Caravan of Courage or whatever the hell that shit is. Stupid.
I mean, I going back to the original trilogy, I thought the Ewoks were kind of fucking lame.
Well, sure. That's like
that was kind of like the beginning of the end of where you could see where Lucas was going.
That's like the Jar Jar of the original trilogy.
Even then, like, they never bothered me to the extent that I guess they bother a lot of people, but they are kind of just like stuffed animals. Like,
at least they were practical.
Whatever.
But you could see,
at least they were practical. If Jar Jar was practical, we'd probably hate him slightly less, but like marginally.
I mean, Jar Jar was responsible for the Emperor, essentially.
Yeah,
you didn't vote for that shit.
Oh, I can't wait to do Attack of the Clones, man.
Yeah, you really need to.
Emergency powers granted by Jar Jar.
Yeah.
That is my I think that's the worst Star Wars movie. I hate it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't know why, somebody should have just rolled in and been like, I have a vote of no confidence, Palpatine, you're out. Because that's basically what they did in Phantom Menace. I have a vote of no confidence, Terrence Malick, you're out. Just like that.
Terrence Stamp.
Terrence Stamp, I was saying Malick. Yeah. Terrence Stamp, yeah.
I was like, what?
My bad.
Yeah, it's so... What the hell was I just going to say? Total brain fart. I guess 2 hours into a stream, I'm having brain farts. But, yeah, so... so are you guys gonna do what the hell is the third one called?
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see how do Attack of the Clones, but we'll probably do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We're gonna go hard on Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, when is that coming out?
We haven't even recorded yet.
We haven't. Yeah, I got to sit down and watch it, and then we'll just.
I have to watch it probably too. I haven't seen it in a while.
I have not seen it since it came out.
The rest of the trilogy, you could sit down and do. Of Attack of the Clones and Revenge.
Oh, we'll do Revenge, and then we'll see if we want to.
We guys should do the original trilogy too. Fuck it.
Yeah, but we like them, so it's like
so you don't want to examine them critically.
No. I mean, we could, but it's just
I can be critical.
We can sit down. I mean, there are obvious problems, but like, there's something really fun about shitting on the prequels.
Well, guys, as hard cut, the hard cut is like a scalpel. You're digging in deeper into the minutia and the other things. You would find enough to critique the same way that when we did the Dark Knight trilogy retrospective, right? There were things to critique on there when you have a long enough format.
Sure.
And I think you'll find it being fulfilling in the same way. Because it's good to also see you guys praise good things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if there's enough like interest,
we'll see how our audience responds to our Attack of the Clones, because like he said, we're gonna go fucking hard on that one.
Yeah, and we went light on Phantom. We went hard on Phantom, but we're gonna go real hard on
There was an
Attack.
actual hatred for Attack of the Clones. Like I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah.
Whereas Phantom Menace just sucks.
Yeah, so we'll see how those are received, and if the audience wants us to do the original trilogy, we'll do it.
So that's your next video?
No, Furiosa is probably our next, or
maybe
unless Monkey Man or
Monkey Man.
Oh, and we still have Batman versus Superman, which has just been But I mean, that's like kind of a little more evergreen. So
Yeah.
Kyle's been dying for that one.
Yeah. So I guess everybody's doing Furiosa this weekend.
Nah, not me.
No? No interest?
No, absolutely none. I did not like Fury Road.
Oh,
So, I know. Oh, I hated it. I hated it.
How?
I didn't. It was
You have
too
the same
out there.
You love Terminator 2.
Oh no, but Terminator 2 is awesome. Fury Road is retarded. I mean, they're having this stupid
What
chase.
is happening right now?
They're having this chase in the desert, and people on these poles flying out to the side playing electric guitar. I'm like, no, this is so stupid.
Oh yeah.
I can't.
No, you just got to go with it, Sin. You just got to go with it.
Yeah, don't think about it. Just go with it.
Just don't think about it.
It was too stupid. Plus, I don't like Charlize Theron, so I didn't like her character. Now, I like Anya Taylor-Joy, but not enough to go see this movie. I'm just not into the Mad Max stuff. Maybe
it is
it's
a
just
spectacle.
a franchise for me. Yeah.
Do you like the Road Warrior, Sin?
I never saw the Road Warrior.
Oh, so Fury Road was your first Mad Max movie?
No, my first Mad Max movie was Thunderdome.
Okay.
All right.
My first and only until Fury Road.
Do you like Thunderdome? Do you like Thunderdome?
It was okay.
You should give Road Warrior a chance.
Road Warrior.
Because
it's the best of the original series.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. I've just
true.
never. I'm not super big into post-apocalyptic.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a sense of this. Like you didn't like of the Terminator franchise. Salvation probably you didn't like it going post-apocalyptic.
So Salvation, I have warmed up to that movie over time, just because it felt like it fit into the storyline better. But when I was watching it, I enjoyed it, but it just didn't feel the same because it's taken place during the whole war. It was just I don't know. It's very rare that a post-apocalyptic film is something that I really dig. So, I mean, I enjoyed Book of Eli, but it's not like.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
It's not something I would return to.
How do you not like Fury Road? Do you like all these films?
No,
Were you like in a bad mood that day?
I went into that movie with the full expectation that I was going to enjoy it, and when it was just basically this long car chase is basically what it was.
Not to turn this. Sorry, go on, Sin.
No, but like I said, that part where they were doing the chase and the stupid and just the whole look, the whole like. The way everybody looks, I did not like just the stupid costumes and they look the same way in Furiosa, so that's why I'm like, nah. I like Anya, I like Chris, but nah.
Not to like turn this into like a gender thing, but I don't know if I've ever met like a woman that likes Fury Road. Like I don't think chicks like it.
Okay.
I don't know why, because Charlize, she's like a main character. She's supposed to be so badass. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just
like
she's more of a.
I just don't like it just because I don't like her for one thing, but the movie itself was too out there and ridiculous for me, and the whole electric guitar playing during the car chase.
That's like extra, but it's so good. It's so
ridiculous. We got a female in the chat. Okay, all right. And
Megan the Texan says she likes Fury Road.
Yeah, I don't think
go.
It's
you don't exist.
You
don't count.
I honestly don't think it's. I mean, okay, so typically men like actiony stuff more than women. Typically. I'm the type of woman who would rather watch something actiony than a chick flick, but Fury Road just did not work for me, and I think it was just because it was so outlandish. I just couldn't. So.
I would say that the Road Warrior is more outlandish than Fury Road.
Oh, yeah, so if it's more outlandish than Fury Road, then I will probably not like it.
That's why I asked if you've seen the other ones, because you would have probably been a little bit more prepared if you saw the other ones, like how bizarre the world is.
I mean, Thunderdome was kind of bizarre, but I saw that back in the 80s, so I was much younger. Maybe if I rewatched it now, I wouldn't care too much for it.
I think visually now, like Fury Road is more of a spectacle, but
it's
like Road Warrior is definitely more grounded in terms of its.
But there's still
realism.
You got dudes wearing like bondage.
You got the dude with the hockey mask on.
All right. Okay, so one detail about the screening I went to for Furiosa was it was an even split, I would say, men and women were there.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, a lot of women like Anya Taylor-Joy.
Hey, I like her.
I mean, she's definitely grown on me I never really disliked her. It just took me a bit to warm up to her.
Have you seen her speak Spanish? After that, I fucking fell in love with her.
Well, I mean, she's
from Argentina,
yeah. So yeah, I have heard. I do not like that. I'm not super crazy about the dialect, but it's amazing. I love it that people can be bilingual, trilingual, whatever.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for that. It's so awesome.
Oh, this is an easy layup question. Megan the Texan.
Yes.
Are you more of a horror thriller movie person?
Yes, absolutely.
The secret is out.
Well, I've made no secret of it.
Yeah, so Sin recommended, and again, I have to bring it up to the audience. I don't know if you guys know about it, but Late Night with the Devil, fucking great movie, recommended by Sin.
Solid film.
So yeah, all right, yeah, I think since I'm brain farting more than I'd like, I think we can wrap it up. So hard cut, but you've got Furiosa. What else are you working on?
Furiosa, Monkey Man's in the queue right now, and then we're going to do our Attack of the Clones review, which will most likely be followed by our Revenge of the Sith review as well.
Yeah, and then whatever, I guess, new stuff is coming out.
So
I mean, that should take you through Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, sure. And well, yeah.
When is Deadpool coming out?
Is that July?
It's July.
End of July.
Okay. Wait, when's the Alien movie coming out?
August.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff coming in August. I'm gonna see what's coming new.
We'll probably have to see The Crow.
Oh yeah, we got to do Crow.
Which is
we got to do Crow.
The re-release or
the remake?
The remake.
Oh, the remake. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's coming out August too, right?
As well, but I'm not super hyped.
I think so.
I don't know what's coming out in June.
Well, kind of going on the whole True Lies, Abyss transfers. If you want to see a good transfer, The Crow just was released on 4K. That looks fucking phenomenal. So, anyways.
You can actually see that it was shot on film.
Yes. It looks, they don't do anything to the image. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And Kyle, aside from Furiosa, what do you got going on?
Next month, Horizon Part 1 is coming out. I've listened to a few interviews with Kevin Costner. That man's a fucking
Horizon.
Gem. Okay, he's self-funding a lot of those films. He's making 4 of them. All right.
Oh, there's
really?
4. I thought it was.
I thought it was a 2-parter.
Right. It's not being publicized a lot. He's done interviews at Cannes in which he's like a crowdfunder. He's literally saying in interviews, "Hey, audience, let's get the attention of these billionaires outside with their boats because I need funding for part 3. He's going as the tracks are being laid down. He said he only had enough money to keep shooting for the next 7 days after he got back from Cannes, because he shot 3 days on part 3, and then he has said he has like 7 days left. So he's got 1 and 2 already. So the first one's coming out. It's piqued my interest in that way of he talked about and wondered if he should make it a streaming series, but he said I don't want to do that. I want to be old school, and I just think in that way of this deserves to be shown on a big screen.
Yeah,
and I love that message that he's putting out. And
you're a big fan of Yellowstone and that whole franchise too, right?
I've become that. I didn't watch the show for the years that it was airing until
same.
The midway of last year.
Yeah, I basically binged it this year, which I thought it was fucking great. All right, so looking forward to that. How about you, Sin? What have you got in the pipeline?
Well, I need to film a review for Hitman, which is the upcoming Glenn Powell.
Yeah. What? Sorry. So, when is that coming out?
You know what?
Or what the hell is the release thing? They're releasing it for 1 week and then
it's coming to the big screen for like a week and then it's going to Netflix. But I don't know the actual dates yet. Okay. So I finished watching that last night. And
was it good? Thumbs up.
Yes, it's not awful. I'm still chewing on it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm a little mixed on how I did not hate it. I'll say that, but I'm just.
Does it get a Sins recommends?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
It's hard to put into words because it's this odd mishmash of different tones, and so it just feels a little different. And I
Yeah.
mean, he's great in it, Glenn Howell, he's kind of, I feel like he's becoming that, okay, we're getting a little bit too much of him now.
Oh, I like him.
I like him
think...
too. He's actually really good in here, but he feels like he's just everywhere now, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
But so that's I also started screening a show from Netflix that's supposed to, I don't know when it's coming out. It's called Eric, and it stars Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh.
It's about a child that gets abducted.
I saw the trailer for that. Yeah.
So I just started watching that today.
How many episodes?
It's 6, I think, about 50-some minutes apiece. So
nice.
Yeah, I don't know when I was gonna film the review for Hitman tonight, but I'm not sure. Maybe not till tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that. I just dropped that Demolition Man prediction
I started
video.
Watching that.
The hidden warning. I've got like a few other movies in the pipeline in my head. From that era, like 90s, warning movies. So I'm thinking I'll do that, and then I do want to talk about Ezra since we talked about that. And I guess before I do like a next long form, the hidden warning, probably Fury Road, not Fury Road.
Furiosa. Yes, that too. You got to see it.
Oh yeah, I have to watch that. Yeah, so I think I'll do Fury Road tomorrow night, and then Furiosa Saturday in the theater. Because I think it's gonna rain here on Saturday, so I think that's the perfect time to go to the theater. But Ezra, and then I do have like one movie in the pipeline that I really want to talk about that predicted a shitload of things that happened. And a hint, it's a Will Smith movie.
I Am Legend.
I, Robot.
I, Robot.
No, it's not I, Robot. But
okay.
Yeah, so that should
Gemini Man.
Hey, probably get that out.
Throwing things out there now.
Yeah, but this has been a great Thirsty Thursdays as usual. I want to thank you guys for showing up, and that's a wrap for now. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Cheers.
See you guys.